The little mouse dissolved into a cloud of pale blue light specks. A heartbeat later, the specks swarmed and coalesced once more at a Siberian husky squatted beside Li Mo's feet. Huff, huff, huff. It panted with its tongue lolling out, its signature cross-eyed stare unchanged. It fixed its gaze firmly on Li Mo, as if refusing to look away. All right, what an intelligent look. Still the same silly dog. Li Mo reached out and ruffled the fluffy head. For a moment, he imagined the two of them surviving together in the apocalypse. From now on, your name is Bruce. Wow, this puppy is adorable. Liang Yin knelt down, eyes sparkling. She cupped the husky's face and gently stroked it. Master, your talent is incredible. The creatures you summon can even change forms. She stared at Li Mo, eyes shining. Can you summon dinosaurs later? Or giant birds that can fly? Li Mo pondered the thought. It might well be possible. His ability relied solely on mental power. If his mental power rose to an extremely high level, he might summon the creatures Liang Yun spoke of, even legendary beasts. It's hard to say, theoretically possible, but we still don't know how to raise our mental power. I know. Liang Yun looked at him eagerly. I saw someone mention it in the regional chat channel. You need to reach level 5 to unlock mental power advancement. What? Someone's already hit level 5. Li Mo was genuinely surprised. He had believed his own leveling speed put him among the top survivors. I never expected so many capable people out there. Liang Yun rested her chin in her hands, her long eyelashes fluttering. Master, should we head out today? The fog outside has lifted. Li Mo's eyes flickered. Tomorrow. We'll rest and prepare today. He had avoided venturing out before because his talent grew stronger over time. But now it was clear, others were leveling far faster than he anticipated. If he failed to strengthen himself quickly, he might avoid immediate death, yet lose his freedom. His strategy needed to shift. He could no longer simply hide indoors. Once his clone finished recharging tomorrow, he would explore the city and learn what lay out there. With that thought, Li Mo opened the system shop to check the newly refreshed goods. Daily merchandise refreshed item 1. House expansion blueprint times 10, price. 1 gold coin item 2. Random skill scroll times 10, price. 60 silver coins item 3. Healing bandage times 1000, price. 30 silver coins. Glancing over the list, Li Mo looked pleasantly surprised. 2 of these are quite useful. What are they? Liang Yun leaned over to look, blinking. House expansion blueprint. Does it make our room bigger? It should. Li Mo tapped the purchase button. We've got plenty of currency for now. I'll buy all of them first. House expansion blueprint effect. Adds 5 square meters of space upon use required materials. Space heart times 1, spirit crystal times 10. Random skill scroll description. Grants 1 random skill after activation. Healing bandage description. Restores 10 health points when applied. Li Mo's gaze settled on the skill scroll. Without hesitation, he crushed it. A warm current flowed from his fingertips into his body, and a notification appeared before his eyes the next instant. Quick Draw LV. 1 description. Blessed with extraordinary dexterity, your hand speed is exceptional. You can fire 5 shots per second. Each activation consumes 10 stamina points. It even has levels, though I'm not sure how to upgrade it. Still, it was a solid offensive skill. Luckily, he owned a firearm. This skill fit him perfectly. He turned back to the expansion blueprints. He had never even heard of a space heart. It sounded incredibly rare. He glanced toward Liang Yun, who was playing with the husky. Her innate ability to expand living quarters was far more practical. Afterward, he upgraded his machete to level 3. Sharpened machete LV. 3 max durability. 30/30ths deconstructible. Iron chunk times 10. Silver coins times 20 description. Sharp enough to slice through iron. Li Mo tested it. The level 3 blade could leave marks on his level 4 room door. He had not expected level 3 to be the maximum, yet it made sense. This was merely a starter weapon. There was a limit to how much it could be enhanced. Li Mo spent the entire day making preparations for tomorrow's expedition. Although his stock of silver coins was nearly depleted after all his purchases and upgrades, his overall strength had improved drastically. Elsewhere, more new faces filled the main hall. They looked anxious, stealing frequent glances toward the man seated on the raised platform. Xiao Xiong leaned back in his chair, casually running a hand through the hair of the woman beside him. The woman sat trembling on the floor, carefully massaging his feet with a pale face. He stared at his level 3 system panel, a satisfied smirk spreading across his face. He picked up the tea leaves he had struggled to scavenge and took a slow, careful sip. Ah, that's the taste. This is what living should feel like. Seeing his good mood, Zhang Bo hurried forward and lowered his voice. Xionggu, all the newcomers have arrived. Xiao Xiong barely lifted his eyelids. Lay out the rules for them. Also, go fetch by Meng Meng from the 15th floor. Leave it to me, Xionggu. I'll get on it right away. After the rules were explained, the crowd scattered nervously. Zhang Bo had only walked a short distance before he suddenly remembered something and hurried back. Xionggu, there's one more thing. Xiao Xiong grew irritated. Speak your mind. That woman from the adjacent building sent messengers again. She wants to host a survival summit for all the faction leaders from nearby apartment blocks. Xiao Xiong let out a scornful huff. Just another excuse to haggle over resource distribution. That's all this so-called summit is. Should we go then? Xiao Xiong set down his teacup, a playful glint in his eyes. Of course we will. I've heard the woman is quite striking. I'd like to see her for myself. The woman kneeling at his feet had grown numb. She shifted her weight to stand, but stumbled, knocking over the teacup on the table. Hot tea spilled across the surface, splashing onto Xiao Xiong's trousers. The woman panicked instantly, repeatedly kowtowing with tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Xionggu. It was an accident. I'll clean it up immediately. Xiao Xiong's expression darkened, yet he forced on a gentle smile. He waved her closer. Calm down. It's just spilled tea, hardly worth making a fuss over. You're one of the few women I find tolerable. How could I bring myself to blame you? The woman shakily stepped forward, ready to voice her gratitude, when Xiao Xiong struck in one swift motion. Eh! A shrill scream echoed through the entire hall. The woman clutched her severed finger and writhed on the floor, blood pooling beneath her. Everyone present fell dead silent, heads bowed, afraid to draw attention to themselves. Just then, Lu Zhan and his group returned before nightfall. They walked into the hall and witnessed the horrific scene. When Xiao Xiong spotted them, he plastered on a fake, warm smile. Oh, Lu brother, you're back. How was today's haul? Don't forget, your team still needs to hand over supplies for Liamo. You'd better keep scavenging, or my men won't be happy if the quota isn't met. His gaze swept over the crowd and landed on Li Jianguo lingering at the back. Normally, the old man rushed to curry favor the moment he saw Xiao Xiong. Today, he was avoiding eye contact. Xiao Xiong grew curious and called out loudly. Hey, Li Jianguo, get over here. Li Jianguo kept his head low, one hand tucked inside his pocket. His eyes turned sinister, his features twisted with rage. After days of work, he had finally finished constructing the pistol. He stroked the weapon hidden in his pocket. It only held 10 rounds, yet excitement surged through him. At the call, he quickly masked his fury with his usual obsequious grin. Xionggu, you called for me? Xiao Xiong studied him and patted his cheek. Old man, you seem different today. Did you find some valuable loot? Li Jianguo's smile slowly froze. His grip around the pistol tightened. As the slaps against his cheek grew harder and harder, he reached his breaking point. He suddenly pulled the pistol out of his pocket, pressing the black barrel straight against Xiao Xiong's forehead. The air in the hall turned deathly still. Xiao Xiong froze on the spot. Confident as he was in his strength, he dared not gamble that his skull could stop a bullet. His subordinates instantly drew their weapons, yet none dared step forward. Easy now, let's talk this through, don't be reckless. Li Jianguo's face contorted with rage. You bastard. Do you really think I'm some dog you can kick around whenever you please? Bang. The gunshot rang out, ringing in everyone's ears. Eh! Xiao Xiong screamed, clutching his knee and collapsing to the ground. Blood seeped steadily between his fingers. His men moved to charge forward, but he shouted to hold them back. Stand back. Drop your weapons. Gritting his teeth, he stared up at Li Jianguo. What do you want? Li Jianguo threw his head back and laughed wildly. Ha ha. I want to be the leader of this building. From today onward, I, Li Jianguo, am the one you all answer to. Lu Zhan and his companions stood behind him, stunned. They never imagined Li Jianguo had hidden a pistol. Zhang Bo came rushing back from the stairwell and called out as soon as he entered. Xionggu, Bai Mingming has locked her door and refuses to come out. I was going to gather men too. He cut himself off mid-sentence. Pushing open the door, he saw Li Jianguo standing with the gun, and Xiao Xiong kneeling on the ground covered in cold sweat. Li Jianguo glanced sideways, slowly turning the pistol toward Zhang Bo. Where are you rushing off to? Who were you talking about? Bai Mingming. Zhang Bo's legs buckled, nearly sending him to his knees. He immediately switched sides. Zhengwo Gu. I was talking about Bai Mingming from the 15th floor. I was reporting to Xionggu that she barricaded herself inside, and we planned to bring her out. Seeing Xiao Xiong's fall from power, he spilled everything without hesitation. Bai Mingming. Li Jianguo thought about the gentle young girl living on his floor and licked his dry lips. Inside his room, Liamo heard the gunshot and frowned. Looks like Xiao Xiong's reign is coming to an end. Liang Yin whispered. Master, what happened? Did a fight break out? Some hidden rival pulled a gun downstairs. Just infighting. It has nothing to do with us. It was clear the shot hadn't come from Xiao Xiong. Someone else had struck. Down in the hall, power had completely shifted. Li Jiangguo sat upon the chair of authority, while Xiao Xiong knelt before him. He took a deep breath, overcome with exhilaration. He scanned the crowd and beckoned Lu Zhan forward with a finger. You come here. Lu Zhan had assumed their old friendship would earn him favorable treatment. Zhang Wo, what are you? Don't dare address me so casually. Kneel. Don't think I haven't noticed you always looking down on me. Lu Zhan hesitated for several tense seconds before slowly sinking to one knee. That's much better. Li Jiangguo smiled in satisfaction, then turned his gaze to Xiao Xiong kneeling in a pool of blood. I will cripple both your arms and legs and keep you by my side. You'll watch closely as I rule this building. Night hung heavy outside, weighing on every soul. No monsters roared this evening, yet the atmosphere felt more suffocating than any night before. An old tyrant fell in pools of blood, and a new tyrant rose to take his place. Unfettered by law and order, humanity's darkest impulses bloomed freely in the apocalypse. The next day, daily trait refreshed iron lungs. Your respiratory system resists most toxic fumes, allowing you to breathe normally for extended periods in low oxygen and poisonous environments. It was a mediocre trait, but Li Mo expected as much. He could not hope for top-tier abilities every single time. Li Mo rose from the soft bed and pulled on his jacket. He checked over his gear. There was little to pack. His system backpack shared inventory with his clone, meaning he could access any supplies he needed at will. He focused his mind, and an exact copy of himself materialized before him. Li Mo had the clone clench its fist. Controlling it felt completely natural. Why are there two masters? The newly woken Liang Yun stared in shock at the two identical Li Mos standing in the room. She rubbed her eyes, wondering if she was still half asleep and seeing things. This is my clone. We're heading out to explore today. The clone will scout ahead first. Liang Yun stared open-mouthed, her cheeks flushing faintly. She quickly shook off her wandering thoughts. The idea of two masters left her flustered. She had long stopped questioning Li Mo's endless abilities. In her eyes, her master could do anything. Seeing Li Mo preparing to leave, Liang Yun hurried to her feet. Master, I want to come too. Li Mo raised an eyebrow as he looked at her. The outside world is extremely dangerous. I'm going. I don't want to be a burden to you. I want to grow stronger too. Li Mo looked at her with quiet surprise. He had thought she would be content staying safely indoors. Yet she held unexpected resolve. Very well, you may come. Remember, this is only my clone. If true danger arises, run straight back to the building. Don't worry about me. He called Bruce over. Liang Yun glanced between the Li Mo inside the room and the clone beside her, struck by the strange sight. Bang! Just as Li Mo reached for the door handle, the sound of splintering would echo down the corridor. Li Mo frowned and looked up. Bai Mengming's door had been broken open. Several burly men stepped inside with malicious grins. This girl's room is full of supplies. She looks as delicate as porcelain. No wonder the boss wants her. We can deal with her once the boss is finished. Liang Yun tugged at Li Mo's sleeve. Master, that's Bai Mengming. Can we help her? She passed messages for us before. He nodded. He had been hoping to recruit the girl to his group, and now the opportunity presented itself. Li Mo strode forward. Hey, it's cowardly for a group of grown men to bully a young girl. The men turned around, sizing Li Mo up with disdain. They had never seen him before. Who do you think you are? Daring to meddle in our business? Playing hero? Take a good look at yourself and get out of our way. With that, one man swung his blade toward Li Mo. Li Mo sighed softly. He shifted his body slightly, easily dodging the slash. A blade appeared in his hand out of nowhere. Swish! Cold light flashed. The man's head tumbled to the ground, rolling a long distance away without resistance. The remaining men froze, stunned. They only snapped out of their shock when Li Mo advanced toward them. They turned to flee without hesitation. Li Mo would not let them escape. Two more quick slashes followed, and two more heads fell to the floor. Blood spilled across the corridor. Li Mo could clearly feel how much sharper his upgraded machete had become. He turned toward the room. Bai Mengming huddled in the corner, hugging her knees and trembling in fear. Liang Yun walked inside to comfort her. You're not safe here. These men are targeting you. Would you join us? If you stay with our group, no one will dare harm you. Bai Mengming glanced at Li Mo standing in the doorway with the blade, then at the gentle Liang Yun beside her. She hesitated for 2 seconds. She thought back to the men pounding at her door all night and the cruel fate of other women under their control. She nodded firmly. All right, I'll go with you. Good. Your supplies aren't safe left here. I'll store them for you. As he spoke, he stored everything inside his system backpack. The goods instantly appeared in the inventory belonging to his main body. Bai Mingming stared at Liu Mo in shock. To store so many items instantly meant he must possess a spatial talent. Liu Mo stepped out into the hallway. Bai Mingming grabbed her small backpack and hurried to follow him. The group descended the stairs. The thick stench of blood washed over them the moment they stepped into the ground floor hall. Multiple bodies lay scattered across the floor. Liu Mo frowned and lifted his gaze, spotting someone he never expected to see. Li Jiangguo sat upon the throne, like chair, resting his feet on Lu Zhan's head. A woman knelt nearby, feeding him food. At his feet lay Xiao Xiong, hands bound behind his back. Blood soaked his trousers around the wounded knee. His messy hair covered half his face, and he resembled a broken stray dog. Li Jiangguo spotted Li Mo immediately, and his eyes lit up. Li Mo, I didn't expect you to come out. Ha ha. He leaned forward in his seat. His gaze barely lingered on Li Mo before shifting to Liang Yun and Bai Mingming. His eyes traveled over them slowly, filled with greedy longing. You used to hide indoors like a coward. I thought you had some backbone. What's this? You come out here today of your own free will. Did you hear I'm in charge now, and bring these two women to curry favor with me? Here's the deal. Be smart, hand the women over, and give up the building. Kneel down and kowtow 3 times to acknowledge me as your leader, and I'll spare you and let you scrape by. How about it? He tilted his chin upward. Anyone else would have ended up just like Xiao Xiong. I'm giving you this chance because I think you're worth my time. As he spoke, he waved the gun in his hand. As long as he held this weapon, no one in the building dared to defy him. Liang Yu shuddered at his revolting gaze and instinctively stepped behind Li Mo beside her. Bai Mingming trembled from head to toe in fear. Huffed, Li Mo could not help but laugh out loud. He looked at Li Jiangguo as if watching a clown jumping about aimlessly. Finished. Li Jiangguo's smile froze. His eyes turned vicious, and he raised the gun, aiming straight at Li Mo's head. You still don't understand the situation. I'm the boss of this building now. Li Mo cut him off impatiently. Enough. I don't have time to listen to you ramble on. He lifted his hand, his fingertips twitching as he activated his inscription ability. The next second, the gun that had been gripped tightly in Li Jiangguo's hand suddenly materialized in Li Mo's grasp. In an instant, silence fell over everyone. Li Mo glanced over the gun's stats and raised an eyebrow. It was inferior to his own sidearm. He wondered how Li Jiangguo managed to intimidate so many people with such an ordinary weapon. Cold sweat instantly soaked Li Jiangguo's back. He stared at the gun in Li Mo's hands, his mind going blank. He opened his mouth, struggling to speak, his voice trembling with panic. Master Mo, this is all a misunderstanding. It's bang. Li Mo pulled the trigger without hesitation. Shut up, Baldy. You talk far too much. Li Jiangguo's body stiffened violently. He shakily lifted a hand to touch his forehead, where a bleeding bullet hole oozed fresh blood. His vision blurred. His mouth worked, yet not a single word escaped before he toppled straight backward, crashing onto the ground and stirring up a cloud of dust. Lu Zhan froze on the spot, his pupils shrinking to pinpricks, overcome with disbelief. Xiao Xiong, still sprawled on the ground, nearly lost his wits from terror. He had only just lifted his head to witness the execution. Pure horror flooded his features. He never imagined Li Mo possessed such terrifying strength. If only he had avoided provoking him from the start. But it was already too late. Li Mo's gaze swept across and met Xiao Xiong's terrified eyes. Bang! Another shot rang out. A matching bullet hole appeared on Xiao Xiong's forehead. His eyes remained wide open as he slumped sideways, dead. Satisfied, Li Mo nodded casually and tossed the gun into his backpack. Beneath the stunned stares of every witness, he led Liang Yu, Bai Mingming, and Bruce past them, walking out of the hall as if nothing had happened. From the moment the gunshot echoed, Bai Mingming's eyes had not left Li Mo. The young girl who had been shaking in terror only moments ago now stared at him with sparkling eyes. A mixture of lingering fright and unconcealed admiration swirled within them, as if she was gazing at a hero descended from the heavens. Liang Yu caught sight of her expression from the corner of her eye, and her heart sank. She quickly stepped forward, taking Bai Mingming's hand, subtly positioning herself between the girl and Li Mo. Don't be afraid, Mingming. Stay with our leader, and no one will dare hurt you again. Bruce was oblivious to the subtle tension between the women. He wagged his large tail, weaving back and forth in an infinity pattern around their feet. Nearly tripping Li Mo paused and looked down at the husky at his feet, his tone helpless. Bruce, settle down. His words only made things worse. The dog bounded around even more excitedly. Paws clicked against the rubble. His tail blurred with the speed of its wagging, and he tilted his head to stick out his tongue at Liemo, looking utterly delighted. Liemo massaged his temples, a helpless smile tugging at his lips. I forgot, this mud only listens to opposite commands. Liang Yu let out a clear, ringing laugh at the sight. Even Bai Meng covered her mouth and giggled softly. Liemo did not join in their amusement. He lifted his gaze, looking past piles of wrecked vehicles toward the ruined city skyline. Roar! Almost at the same time, a low, hoarse, inhuman roar drifted over from the distance. Liemo's eyes sharpened with alertness. One man, two women, and a husky trekked slowly across crushed stone on the city's outskirts. The group advanced cautiously. The deeper they ventured into the urban zone, the more ragged survivors they encountered. Gaunt and malnourished, each one watched their surroundings with wary eyes, as if they had only just fled deeper into the ruins. Up ahead, two men fought viciously over a loaf of bread by the roadside. One pinned the other to the ground, raining blows against his opponent's face. It's mine. Get off me, Liang Yu muttered quietly. This place is completely lawless. These past few days following Li Mo meant she never worried about supplies. She had not expected the outside world to have devolved into such chaos. A stale, decaying stench hung thick in the air. Other survivors scavenged amid the debris. When they spotted Li Mo's group and noticed their clean clothing, greedy looks crossed their faces. These people give me the creeps, leader. Liang Yu tightened her grip on her blade, watching them vigilantly. The outermost district had long since been stripped of all usable resources. To find decent supplies, they would have to press deeper into the city. Further inward, the figures along the road thinned out, until the street stood empty save for the four of them. Bruce walked at the front of the pack with his tail tucked, nose pressed to the ground as he sniffed constantly, pausing every so often to glance back at the others. The group approached a shop and pushed open its boarded entrance, sending clouds of dust swirling through the air. Liemo waved the dust aside before stepping inside. The store was small, lined with racks full of clothing. It appeared to be a clothing boutique. Wow, so many clothes. Liang Yu's eyes lit up. She hurried over to browse the hangers. We can finally change into something clean. I've worn this set for days now. Liemo scanned the room, confused. With this much intact clothing available, it should have been looted long ago. Why had everything remained untouched? He knelt and rummaged through storage crates on the floor. Lifting one lid, he paused. Look at this. The crate held neatly folded undergarments in countless styles and materials. Liang Yu leaned over for a peek, her cheeks flushing faintly. She picked out a set of black garments and glanced toward Liemo. We can save these for later when we settle down. She quietly stowed them inside her system backpack, then handed two modest sets of clothing to Bai Meng. Bai Meng accepted the clothes, her ears instantly turning red. She pinched the fabric between her fingertips. These designs are quite revealing. She kept her head lowered but carefully folded the clothes and placed them in her own pack. Liemo glanced at Bai Meng, thinking some of these sets would not fit her well, though another style would suit her nicely. He transferred the remaining garments into his system backpack. Items that offered stat bonuses were well worth collecting. Just as the three sorted through the clothing, hiss, hiss, a strange scraping sound echoed. Liemo stood abruptly, gripping his large cleaver and locking his gaze on the source of the noise. Without hesitation, he covered Liang Yu and Bai Mengming's mouths firmly, signaling them to stay silent. He could not risk their screams drawing whatever creature lurked nearby. The two women held their breath. Following his line of sight, they turned pale the instant they saw it. If the creature chose to attack, they would be in grave danger. Worse still, it seemed able to stay hidden. A black spider roughly the size of Bruce descended slowly from the ceiling on strands of silk. 8 hairy legs lined with stiff bristles surrounded its body. Simply looking at it sent chills crawling over the skin. As it drew closer, Liemo saw that the fuzzy covering was not fur at all. Hundreds of tiny spiders clung to the larger creature's body, shifting and wriggling as it moved. Liemo's scalp prickled uncomfortably. Even if he managed to slash the large spider apart, there was no way to deal with the swarm of smaller ones. If any crawled onto them, they would be in serious trouble. Holding his breath, Liemo guided the two women backward slowly. Bruce also hunched low, ears drooping, and retreated alongside them. They backed out of the shop and stopped once they stood 6 meters away. Only then did Liemo release the women. Liang Yu shuddered. Leader, now I understand why no one came for the clothes. That thing was absolutely horrifying. Bai Mengming's legs felt weak with fright. She clung tightly to the hem of Liemo's jacket and refused to let go. We're lucky we didn't alert it. Let's move on and search somewhere else for supplies. They turned down 2 more streets before Liang Yu suddenly brightened, pointing toward a broken wall. Leader, look over there. Is that a treasure chest? The group hurried forward and spotted a bronze chest resting against the rubble. Bronze treasure chest. Liam reached out to open it when a voice shouted to stop him from behind. Hey, don't touch that. We found it first. Liam ignored the man entirely. He opened the chest and collected everything inside. Bread times 2, silver coin times 1. Liam's mouth twitched in disappointment. That's all. What a letdown. He brushed dust off his hands and slowly turned around. A heavily soiled man stood several meters away. Liam could even smell the stench coming off his body. Bai Meng frowned, a dagger appearing in her grip without her realizing it. When the man watched Liam claim the loot, his expression darkened. I told you we spotted this chest first. Liam glanced at the man's crude blade, then at his emaciated, malnourished frame. Is this man foolish? Can he not tell how outmatched he is? Enraged by Liam's disregard, the man stepped forward. Hey, are you ignoring me on purpose? His gaze drifted over Liang Yu and Bai Mengming's faces, his eyes lighting up. Greed was plain to see as he stared at the two women. At that moment, a woman darted out from hiding and grabbed the man's arm. Why do you always do this? You can't keep trying to rob strangers. Can't you change? She turned toward Liam's party and bowed repeatedly in apology. I'm so sorry. My husband acted out of line, and I apologize for him. Liam frowned. Husband? Everyone had been transported to this apocalyptic world randomly. It was rare enough to encounter acquaintances, let alone married couples. Something felt deeply off about these two. Say, would the three of you be interested in joining us to open another treasure chest? I spotted a silver treasure chest further ahead, guarded by a monster. If you're willing, we can work together and split all the loot evenly. What do you think? A silver treasure chest? Liang Yu tugged Liam's sleeve and whispered, Leader, these two feel suspicious. I don't trust them. Bai Mengming nodded in agreement. I know. A cold smile tugged at Liam's lips. But I want to find out exactly what scheme they're plotting. If this was a trap meant to rob them, he would happily seize their supplies afterward. He looked toward the woman. Lead the way. A wide smile spread across her face. Wonderful. Follow me. It's not far ahead. The pair walked forward to lead them. The man kept glancing back at the two women, his eyes cold and malicious. Soon, they arrived at an abandoned warehouse with no front door. Liam halted and scanned the warehouse entrance. We're here. Where's the treasure chest? Treasure chest? Ha. You lot are the treasure. The woman's demeanor shifted instantly. Her gentle expression vanished, replaced by vicious malice. Liam rolled his eyes. He had expected exactly this. She waved her arm toward the warehouse interior. Come out, everyone. We've lured our prey. As her voice faded, chaotic footsteps echoed from deep within the warehouse. 7 or 8 men armed with blades and clubs filed out. Among them emerged a familiar figure. Qinyao. She looked thoroughly battered, her jacket torn in multiple places, her face pale. A man's voice boomed out. What took you so long? We caught another attractive woman just now. It took ages to restrain her. Bruce arched his back, growling low in his throat, when he saw Liam's group standing at the entrance. Qinyao froze for a moment, surprise flashing across her face before her expression turned grim. She immediately called out to them. These people are from the neighboring residential block. They lie in ambush here to rob travelers of their supplies. The man they had met earlier scurried over to the gang leader. See, I've done great work. 2 beautiful women and a foolish dog. Boss Tai will reward me handsomely. The leader looked over the newly arrived women. Not bad at all. Lovely faces and figures. Boss Tai has been wanting more women lately. Taking them back will earn us plenty of rewards. Boy, cooperate quietly and come with us, and you won't get hurt. Once Boss Tai grows tired of them, he might even let you have your turn. The gang's underlings erupted in mocking laughter, filled with vulgar remarks. Qinyao watched the men surround them with weapons raised, regret surging through her. She had not returned to her shelter overnight. Monster activity spiked after dark, and she had exhausted most of her stamina evading pursuit. She could no longer activate her stealth ability. Cornered by hostile men, she braced herself to fight to the death. She did not hold out much hope for help from Liam. While she knew he possessed some strength, he could not possibly fight off so many attackers. Liam remained calm, even raising an eyebrow with mild curiosity. Boss Tai? Another building leader, it seemed. Liam planned to gather more information before striking, and spoke up. Boss Tai? How's he doing these days? The man stared at Liam, sizing him up with suspicion. You know Tai who? Liam put on a convincing, earnest expression and wove a lie smoothly. Of course. We're brothers who've risked our lives together. We used to drink all the time. I never thought I'd run into him in this ruined world. The gang leader's expression shifted uncertainly. He could not tell whether Li Mo was telling the truth. So what if you know him? Boss Tai needs more women to raise his level. If you really are his old friend, you should do the sensible thing and hand these two women over. You'll get credit for it. Chen Yao's heart sank hearing this. She barely knew Li Mo, yet from the conversation, it sounded as though they were acquainted. Bai Mingming instinctively stepped behind Li Mo, her palms slick with cold sweat. Only Liang Yu stood unflustered. She knew full well their leader did not know this Taihu. Even if they did cross paths, Taihu would be the one bowing to Li Mo. A thought crossed Li Mo's mind. Using women to level up? His guess appeared correct. This Taihu likely wielded some sinister talent. He maintained his casual demeanor and kept probing for information. Oh, how many men does Boss Tai command now? Has he reached a high level? He's got plenty of men under him. Wait a minute. What are you doing, firing off all these questions? Trying to fish for information. Li Mo clicked his tongue and shook his head regretfully. Very well. You caught me. The second his words landed, he shouted sharply. Bruce attacked. In an instant, the gray and white husky charged forward straight for the gang leader. He leaped through the air and sank his teeth hard into the man's thigh. Aya! A blood-curdling scream tore from the leader's throat. He clutched his leg and collapsed to the ground, writhing in agony. Li Mo winced instinctively, feeling a phantom twinge of pain. Damn, this dog does not hold back. That must hurt terribly. The rest of the gang snapped out of their shock, yelling as they charged forward with weapons raised. Damn mutt. He bit the boss. Kill him. Get him. Slay this kid. We'll stew that husky for meat. Liang Yu raised her blade and positioned herself in front of Bai Mingming, her gaze sharp. Mingming, stay behind me. Bai Mingming gripped her small dagger tightly. She bit her lip and nodded. Though pale with fear, she did not retreat an inch. Chen Yao stepped forward half a pace, holding her dagger ready to fight for her life. At that moment, Li Mo moved. He pulled his pistol out of his backpack, his eyes narrowing as he activated a newly acquired skill. Quick-draw marksman. A strange warm current surged down his right arm. It felt as though his hand had undergone countless hours of training, moving with incredible speed. You hid indoors like a coward all this time. I thought you had some backbone. What's this? You come out voluntarily today. Did you hear I'm the new boss? So you brought these two women to curry favor with me? Here's the deal. Be smart. Hand over the women in this building. Kneel down and kowtow 3 times to acknowledge me as your leader, and I'll spare you and give you a scrap of food. How about it? He tilted his chin upward. Anyone else would have ended up like Xiao Xiong. I'm offering you this chance because I think you're worth something. As he spoke, he waved the gun in his hand. As long as he held this weapon, no one in the building dared defy him. Liang Yu shrank uncomfortably under his repulsive stare, instinctively stepping behind Li Mo. Beside her, Bai Mingming trembled with fear. Puffed. Li Mo could not hold back and let out a laugh. He stared at Li Jiangguo as if watching a ridiculous clown hopping about. You finished. Li Jiangguo's grin froze. His eyes darkened, and he raised the gun, aiming straight at Li Mo's head. You still don't understand the situation. I run this building now. Li Mo cut him off impatiently. Enough. I don't have time to listen to your rambling again. He lifted his hand, his fingers twitching as he activated his inscription ability. The next instant, the gun that had been gripped by Li Jiangguo suddenly appeared in Li Mo's grasp. Silence crashed over the scene. Li Mo glanced at the gun's stats and raised an eyebrow. It was inferior to his own firearm. He wondered how Li Jiangguo managed to intimidate so many people with such a mediocre weapon. Sweat soaked Li Jiangguo's back instantly. He stared at the gun in Li Mo's hand, his mind going blank. He parted his lips, struggling to speak, his voice trembling with panic. Master Li, this is all a misunderstanding, I bang. Li Mo pulled the trigger. Shut up, Baldy. You talk far too much. Li Jiangguo's body stiffened violently. He shakily lifted a hand to his forehead, where a bleeding bullet wound oozed crimson. His vision blurred. His mouth worked, yet no words escaped, before he toppled backward onto the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. Lu Zhan froze on the spot, pupils constricted to pinpricks, overcome with disbelief. Xiao Xiong, still sprawled on the ground, nearly lost his wits from terror. He had just lifted his head to witness the execution, and pure dread flooded his eyes. He never imagined Li Mo possessed such terrifying strength. If he had known, he would never have provoked him. But it was already too late. Li Mo's gaze swept over and locked onto Xiao Xiong's terrified face. Bang! Another shot. A matching bullet hole appeared on Xiao Xiong's forehead. His eyes remained wide open as he slumped lifelessly to one side. Satisfied, Li Mo nodded, tossing the gun casually into his backpack. Beneath the stunned stares of everyone present, he led Liang Yu, Bai Mingming and Bruce out of the hall without a care for anyone around them. From the moment the gunshot rang out, Bai Mengming's gaze had never left Li Mo. The girl who had trembled in terror moments ago now sparkled with emotion, fear tangled with undisguised admiration, as if she were gazing at a hero descended from the heavens. Liang Yu caught sight of this from the corner of her eye, and her heart sank. She quickly stepped forward, taking Bai Mengming's hand, subtly positioning herself between the girl and Li Mo. Don't be afraid, Mengming. As long as you stay with our leader, no one will dare harm you again. Bruce noticed none of the subtle tension in the air. He wagged his large tail, pacing back and forth around their feet, nearly tripping Li Mo. Li Mo paused, glancing down at the husky, his tone helpless. Bruce, stop running around. His words only spurred the dog on. Bruce dashed faster, paws tapping against the rubble. His tail blurred from constant wagging, and he glanced upward, sticking out his tongue with a goofy grin. Li Mo massaged his temples, a wry smile tugging at his lips. I forgot. This mutt only does the opposite of what he's told. Liang Yu let out a clear, tinkling laugh at the sight. Even Bai Mengming covered her mouth and giggled softly. Li Mo did not join in. He lifted his eyes, his gaze drifting past scattered vehicle wreckage toward the ruined cityscape. A low, hoarse, inhuman roar echoed from the distance. Li Mo's eyes sharpened at once. Two women, one man and a husky trudged over broken gravel along the city's edge. The group advanced cautiously. The deeper they ventured into the urban zone, the more ragged survivors they encountered. Gaunt and haggard, each watched their surroundings with wary eyes, as if they had only just fled from the city core. Off to the side, two men fought viciously over a loaf of bread. One pinned the other to the ground, slamming his fist into his opponent's face. It's mine. Get off me, Liang Yu muttered quietly. This place is utterly lawless. She had lacked for no supplies while traveling with Li Mo these past days. She had never expected the outside world to have descended into such chaos. A stale, decaying stench hung thick in the air. Other survivors scavenged amid the rubble. When they spotted Li Mo's party and saw their clean clothing, greedy looks crossed their faces. These people are creepy, leader. Liang Yu tightened her grip on her blade, watching them vigilantly. The outer districts had long since been picked clean by scavengers. To find decent supplies, they needed to head deeper inland. As they moved further in, human figures grew sparser, until the street belonged only to the four of them. Bruce walked at the front, tail tucked low. He pressed his nose to the ground, sniffing constantly, and paused every few steps to glance back. The group entered a shop and pushed open its boarded door. Clouds of dust swirled into the air. Li Mo waved the dust aside before stepping inside. It was a small store lined with clothing racks, an apparel shop. Wow, so many clothes. Liang Yu's eyes lit up. She hurried over to the racks and began sorting through the garments. We could use fresh outfits. The ones we've been wearing for days are filthy. Li Mo scanned the space, confused. With so many intact clothes available, the shop should have been looted long ago. Why had everything remained untouched? He knelt and rummaged through storage crates on the floor. When he lifted one lid, he paused. Look at this. Neatly stacked inside were rows of undergarments in varied styles and fabrics. Liang Yu leaned over for a peek, her cheeks flushing faintly. She picked out a set and glanced toward Li Mo. Leader, I'll try these on later. She slipped the clothes into her system storage bag, then selected two modest sets and handed them to Bai Mengming. Bai Mengming took the garments. Her ears turned bright red, and she squeezed the fabric between her fingers. These styles are far too revealing. She kept her head lowered, yet obediently folded the clothes and stowed them away. Li Mo glanced at Bai Mengming. He thought those elaborate sets would not fit her well, yet certain simpler designs would suit her nicely. He gathered all the remaining garments into his system backpack. Equipment that provided stat bonuses was worth collecting. While the three busied themselves packing clothing, hiss, hiss, a strange scraping sound echoed through the room. Li Mo stood alert, drawing his large machete and locking his gaze on the source of the noise. Without hesitation, he clamped a hand over Liang Yu and Bai Mengming's mouths, applying gentle pressure to signal them to stay silent. He could not afford to let their screams draw whatever lurked nearby. The two women held their breath and followed his line of sight. Their faces paled instantly. If the creature chose to attack, they would be in danger. It seemed unable to see them. A black spider, roughly the size of Bruce, descended slowly from the ceiling on silken threads. 8 hairy, bristle-covered legs supported its body. Simply looking at it sent chills crawling over one's skin. As it drew nearer, Li Mo observed closely and realized the fur coating its body was not hair at all. Countless tiny spiders clung to the larger creature, wriggling as it moved. Li Mo's scalp prickled. Goosebumps rose all over his skin. Even if he sliced the large spider apart with one strike, he could not stop the horde of smaller spiders. If they swarmed onto his body, he would be helpless. Holding his breath, Liam pulled the two women backward slowly. Bruce also hunched low, ears drooping, and retreated alongside them. They backed 5 or 6 meters out of the shop before Liam released them. Breathing out a quiet sigh of relief, Liang Yu shuddered. Leader, I finally understand why no one came for these clothes. That thing was horrifying. Bai Mengming's legs shook badly. She clung tightly to the hem of Li Mo's jacket. We got lucky not startling it. Let's leave and search somewhere else for supplies. They turned down 2 more streets before Liang Yu suddenly pointed toward a broken wall. Leader, look, is that a treasure chest? The group hurried forward and spotted a bronze chest resting against the rubble. Bronze treasure chest. Liam reached out to open it when a voice shouted from behind. Hey, don't touch that. We found it first. Liam ignored the speaker entirely. He opened the chest and stored its contents immediately. Bread times 2, silver coin times 1. Liam's mouth twitched in disappointment. That's all. Terrible loot. He brushed dust off his hands and turned slowly. A filthy man stood several meters away. Liam could smell the stench emanating from his body. Bai Mengming frowned, gripping a dagger she had pulled out without noticing. The man watched Liam claim the supplies, his expression turning ugly. I told you we spotted this chest first. Liam glanced at his own blade, then at the malnourished, frail stranger. Is this man out of his mind? Can't he tell who holds the advantage here? Furious that Liam had taken the goods, the man stepped forward. Hey, are you ignoring me? His eyes swept over Liang Yu and Bai Mengming, lighting up. Greed lingered openly on his face as he stared at the two women. Just then, a woman ran over and grabbed the man's arm. Why do you always do this? Trying to rob others again. Can't you change? She turned toward Li Mo's party and bowed quickly. I'm so sorry. My husband acted recklessly. I apologize on his behalf. Liam frowned. Husband? Everyone had been transported to this apocalyptic world randomly. Spouses were practically unheard of. Meeting a single acquaintance counted as immense luck. Something was off about these two. Say, would you 3 be interested in joining us to open another treasure chest? I spotted a silver treasure chest up ahead, guarded by a monster. If you're willing, we can team up, split whatever we find evenly. What do you think? A silver treasure chest? Liang Yu tugged Li Mo's sleeve and whispered. Leader, these two feel suspicious. I don't trust them. Bai Mengming nodded in agreement. Looking to Li Mo, I know. A cold smirk tugged at Li Mo's lips. But I'd like to see what scheme they're plotting. If this was a trap to ambush them, he could seize their supplies in turn. He faced the woman. Very well. Lead the way. Her smile widened. Great. Follow me. It's not far ahead. The pair walked forward to guide them. The man kept glancing back at the women, his gaze sinister. Moments later, they arrived at an abandoned warehouse with no front door. Liam halted, scanning the warehouse entrance. We're here. Where's the chest? Treasure chest? Ha. You lot are the prey. The woman's gentle demeanor vanished completely, replaced by vicious malice. Liam rolled his eyes. He had expected exactly this. She waved an arm toward the warehouse interior. Come out, everyone. The bait has taken the hook. As her voice faded, chaotic footsteps echoed from deep within the warehouse. 7 or 8 men carrying blades and clubs filed out. Among them stood a familiar figure. Chen Yao? She looked utterly disheveled, her coat torn in multiple places, her face pale. A man's voice rang out. What took you so long? Another woman wandered in earlier. It took ages to restrain her. Bruce arched its back, growling low in its throat. When Chen Yao laid eyes on Li Mo's group, she froze. Surprise flickered across her face before fading into quiet despair. She spoke to them quickly. These people are from the neighboring building. They lie in wait here to rob travelers of their supplies. The man they had met earlier hurried over to their leader. See, I pulled this off. 2 beautiful women and a dumb dog. Boss Tai will reward me handsomely. The leader's gaze swept over the newly arrived women. Excellent. Fine looks and good figures. Boss Tai has been looking for women lately. Delivering them will earn us plenty of rewards. Kid, cooperate and come quietly, or you'll suffer. Once Boss Tai is done with them, he might even let you have your turn. The surrounding underlings roared with crude laughter, filling the air with vulgar remarks. Chen Yao watched the circle of armed men closing in, consumed by regret. She had failed to return overnight. Monster activity surged after dark, and evading pursuit drained nearly all her stamina. She could no longer activate her stealth ability. Desperation rose within her as she faced the hostile mob. She had never imagined Liam could offer any help. Though he possessed some strength, he could not fight off so many attackers. Liam remained calm, even raising an eyebrow with mild amusement. Boss Tai? Another building overlord, it seemed. Liamo planned to gather more information before striking, and he spoke up. Boss Tai? How's he doing these days? The man blinked, sizing Liamo up and down, suspicion clouding his expression. You know Boss Tai who? Liamo adopted a solemn tone, spinning a lie convincingly. Of course. We're brothers who've risked our lives for each other. We drank together all the time. I never thought I'd run into him in this ruined world. The leader's expression shifted between uncertainty and suspicion. He could not tell whether Liamo was telling the truth. So what if you know him? Boss Tai needs women to boost his power right now. If you're his friend, you ought to hand these 2 women over. You'll earn credit with him. Chen Yao's heart sank upon hearing this. She barely knew Liamo, yet it sounded as though they were allies. Bai Mingming instinctively stepped behind Liamo, her palms slick with sweat. Only Liang Yu stood composed. She knew their leader did not actually know Tai Hu. Even if they were acquainted, Tai Hu would be the one answering to Liamo. A thought crossed Liamo's mind. Using women to level up? His guess appeared correct. Tai Hu must wield some sinister talent. He stayed calm and continued drawing information out of the man. Oh, how many men does Boss Tai command now? Has he reached a high level? He's got plenty of men. Wait a minute. What's with all the questions? Are you trying to fish for information? Liamo clicked his tongue and shook his head regretfully. All right, you caught on. The instant he finished speaking, he barked an order. Bruce, go. A flash of gray fur surged forward, charging straight for the leader. The husky leaped and sank its teeth viciously into the man's groin. Aya! A horrendous scream tore from the man's throat. He clutched his crotch and crumpled to the ground, writhing in agony. Liamo winced instinctively, shifting his legs. Damn, this dog doesn't hold back. That must hurt terribly. The other men snapped out of their shock and charged forward shouting. Bastard! He bit our boss. Kill him. Cut that kid down. We'll stew that mutt for dinner. Liang Yu positioned herself with her blade raised, shielding Bai Mingming. Stay behind me, Mingming. Bai Mingming tightened her grip on her small dagger. Her lips trembled, yet she did not retreat an inch despite her pale face. Chen Yao stepped forward as well, holding her dagger before her, ready to fight to the death. Then Liamo moved. He pulled a pistol from his backpack, his eyes sharp as he activated his newly acquired skill. Quick draw. A strange warmth surged through his right arm. It felt as though his hand had undergone countless hours of training, moving at blinding speed. He raised the gun, aimed, and squeezed the trigger. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. Bang, bang, bang. A string of gunshots rang out. Bloody holes burst between the brows of the men charging at the front. They did not even get a chance to scream before collapsing stiffly to the ground. The gunfire fell silent. 5 or 6 bodies lay scattered across the ground. The entrance to the warehouse instantly fell quiet. The remaining couple stared on, their faces drained of color, their legs trembling uncontrollably, too shaken to form coherent words. Chen Yao froze in place, her dagger hanging mid-air. Shock flooded her eyes. She had never imagined things would unfold like this. Liamo lowered his gun, his fingertips tingling slightly. He shook his hand. This skill hits hard, though it burns through bullets quickly. Liamo stepped forward to stand before the couple, watching them with a smile. Yet to the 2 terrified people, that grin was far more terrifying than a demon's. The man's knees buckled, and he hastily stepped in front of the woman. A strong stench of urine drifted over. Liamo quickly stepped back and covered his nose. Glancing down, he saw a large wet patch spreading over the man's trousers. Liamo said with disgust, "What a coward. Are you 2 really husband and wife?" The woman nodded frantically, her voice trembling with tears. "Yes, we truly are. We woke up in the same room together. We were married before all this. Please spare us." Liamo was slightly surprised. He had not known some people would spawn in pairs. Watching the pair crumble with fear, a mischievous thought crossed his mind. He spoke slowly. "I see. Very well. I'll give you a choice. Only one of you may live. Decide between yourselves who dies." The air turned icy. The couple exchanged a look. Struggle and hesitation etched across both their faces. The man's Adam's apple bobbed. He turned toward the woman and began, "You." He never finished his sentence. A sharp cold sensation stabbed his waist. He stared down in disbelief to see a dagger buried deep in his abdomen, fresh blood soaking his shirt. He lifted his gaze to the woman clutching the blade, tears streaming down her face. Until the moment he died, he could not understand. He had been about to let her survive, so why had she struck first? The man staggered, then crashed onto the ground. He twitched once, then fell still. The woman pulled the dagger free, gasping for breath. Deep within her eyes, a trace of resentment toward Liamo lingered. She looked up at Liamo, forcing a pleading smile onto her face. I've chosen. He's dead. I get to live now, right? Tisk, TSK, TSK. Liam shook his head, watching the grim scene unfold. He sighed to himself. Truly, married couples were birds of the same forest. When disaster struck, they fled separately. He tilted his head and shot Liang Yun a glance. Liang Yun understood. She slowly circled behind the woman, her brows furrowed. She took several deep breaths, then squeezed her eyes shut. Uffed. Sharp agony erupted in the woman's chest. She stared down at the blade protruding through her torso, eyes wide with horror. Why? I did what you asked. Her words trailed off. She crumpled to the ground, eyes open in endless disbelief. Liam glanced at the bodies at his feet and let out a cold snort. I won't leave loose ends. All right, time to collect the spoils. These people had dropped quite a few items. Liam spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. He picked it up. It was a blueprint for a bathroom. Bathroom blueprint. Construction materials required. Heart of space ×1, spirit crystal ×30, iron ingot ×30, glass ×10. Description: exclusive blueprint for safe house construction. Upon use, it unlocks an independent bathroom space equipped with a constant temperature shower system and closed-loop water filtration. It continuously recycles and purifies domestic water, completely solving sanitation issues in the apocalypse. TCH, another heart of space. Liam frowned. The items sounded extraordinary, yet he still had no clue where to obtain more. He lifted his gaze toward Liang Yun, and a thought crossed his mind. She still gripped her bloodied longsword, standing motionless. Liam suddenly realized this was her first time taking a life. Still, he had not expected her to act so decisively. Liam walked over and patted her head, hoping to comfort her. Feeling the warmth of his palm, Liang Yun's composure shattered. She rushed into Liam's embrace, her whole body trembling. Liam felt her lean against him, soft and warm. It's over now. Liam stroked her hair. Though neither had bathed in days, he could still catch a faint, pleasant scent on her. He thought to himself that he would build the bathroom once they returned. Out of the corner of his eye, Liam noticed Bruce shaking its head wildly, pulling backward. Wait, was the hound still gnawing at one of the corpses? Seeing the mangled wound on the body, Liam looked on helplessly. Bruce, come. Bruce pricked up its ears, stunned for a moment, then trotted back over with its tongue lolling out. Get away from me. Liam nudged the dog aside in revulsion. You know exactly what you've been chewing. Don't rub that stench all over me. From the moment Liam gunned down the charging mob to the execution of the treacherous couple, barely a few minutes had passed. Chen Yao had braced herself for a fight to the death. She never imagined events would resolve like this. She stared at Liam's back, her expression complicated, wariness tangled with quiet relief. Bai Mingming was far calmer than expected. Her face pale, she knelt beside the corpses and sorted supplies into her backpack. Moments later, she trotted back toward Liam. Liam, I've gathered everything. Liam pulled his attention away and checked their haul. 60, 2 silver coins, 8 iron ingots, 3 sacks of bread, 7 spirit crystals, plus half a barrel of gasoline. Gasoline? That was an unexpected find. They had no vehicle for now, but it would prove useful sooner or later. He turned to Chen Yao, who still stood apart. What about you? What are your plans? Head back to the residential block alone. Chen Yao pressed her lips together. Her stamina had not fully recovered, so she could not activate her stealth talent. Traveling through the streets on her own meant a high chance of being hunted by monsters. After a brief silence, she nodded gently. If it's not too much trouble, I'd like to travel with your group. Hearing this, Bai Mingming glanced at the bleeding wound on Chen Yao's arm and walked over. Soft light shimmered from her raised hands, and the injury visibly healed. Bai Mingming held out her palm, her large eyes fixed on Chen Yao. Understanding the gesture, Chen Yao tossed her 1 silver coin. Stowing the coin away, Bai Mingming stepped back behind Liam, satisfied. Chen Yao looked at them and spoke suddenly. I know where a silver chest is located. Liam paused, pulling his foot away from Bruce. Where? It's inside a clothing store ahead, tucked behind the shelves at the very back of the warehouse, Chen Yao said earnestly. Liam felt a flicker of suspicion. Her description sounded identical to what the couple had told them earlier. A clothing store, monsters. Could she be talking about that giant spider? A silver chest hidden there? It made sense. Such a powerful monster must guard valuable treasure. Liam looked at her high ponytail. Why tell me? With your talent, retrieving it should be simple for you. The chest is strung with spider silk. Anyone who touches it will wake the monster. We have to kill it first to open the chest. Liam understood now. In the apocalypse, nothing came for free. Everything boiled down to fair exchange. At the mention of returning to face the spider covered in swarming smaller creatures, Liang Yun broke out in goosebumps. She sidled up to Li Mo, tugging at the hem of his jacket, and stared at him pleadingly. Master, we're going back there? That spider is disgusting, covered in tiny bugs. Don't worry. I have a plan. Several minutes later, outside the clothing store, Li Mo wanted to test the new second stage party system. He focused his mind, and two system notifications appeared before Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng. Accept party invitation. Leader, Li Mo party rules. All party members gain half the experience earned by the killer. Shared basic vision and ability to sense each teammate's location. Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng glanced at one another and selected accept at almost the same time. Party formed. Current members, Li Mo, Liang Yun, Bai Mengmeng. Li Mo picked up the gasoline can and poured the fuel inside the store. A sharp chemical scent filled the air. He pulled out a lighter and tossed it in. Whoosh! Tall flames erupted instantly. Soon, the agonized screech of the monster echoed from within. Thick black smoke billowed outward, carrying a strange roasted odor. At the same time, Limo's system panel flooded with continuous notifications. Experience +1. Experience +1. Experience +1. The experience prompts kept scrolling, small increments from the countless baby spiders burning to death. Limo watched the smoke tower several meters high. Looks like all the little spiders are getting roasted. Liang Yun LV.2, Bai Mengmeng LV.2. I leveled up. Liang Yun's eyes lit up. Her earlier fear faded away. She checked her panel and shook Bai Mengmeng's arm excitedly. Bai Mengmeng's face also brightened, and she whispered, "Me too." Chun Yao listened to their exchange, pursing her lips, a hint of envy rising in her heart. Before long, a large experience notification popped up, far greater than the scattered gains from the smaller spiders. Experience +40. Limo advanced straight to level 5. Limo LV.5. Gender male. Room comfort 18. Health 150/150. Stamina 140/150. Satiety 80/100. Experience 0 out of 400. Constitution 6. Speed 6. Spirit 6 plus 3 bonus from Spirit Amplification Ring. Talent Random Affix. Limo clenched his fist. He could clearly feel strength surging inside him. Reaching level 5 had boosted his spirit stat and raised his maximum stamina. When the last major experience alert appeared, he said, "It should all be over." He waited for the flames to die down and the intense heat to fade, then lifted the rolling shutter and stepped inside. Cough, cough. Charred spider remains carpeted the ground, crunching under his feet. The giant mother spider's body lay curled into a blackened mass, its 8 long legs folded inward. Beside the corpse, Li Mo spotted a glowing blue sphere resting on the floor. He stepped forward and picked it up. Heart of space. Description: can be used as construction material or to expand living space. Speak of the devil. He had actually obtained another heart of space. Luck was truly on his side. Scattered around his feet were various items, including numerous spirit crystals. He had already collected most of the spirit crystals circulating in the area, and this haul would replenish his stock. The group moved toward the back of the shop. The space was blackened by fire, strands of spider silk still clinging to the walls, and the air reeked. Amid the ash and soot, the corner of a silver chest peeked out. Silver chest. Limo's eyes lit up. Ignoring the grim surroundings, he hurried forward. Running his hand over the silver surface, he thought it was the finest thing he had ever touched. He lifted the lid. A flash of white light revealed the contents within. Spirit crystal times 20, iron ingot times 15, smart air conditioner blueprint times 1, Coca-Cola times 5, mutated spider silk times 5. Wow. Cope. Bai Mengming's eyes lit up instantly. She reached forward instinctively, then pulled her hand back quickly, embarrassed. She panicked inwardly. "Oh no," I shouted out loud. "Will everyone think I only care about food?" Liang Yun covered her mouth, amused by Bai Mengming's adorable reaction. Limo glanced at her round cheeks. He had thought she was quiet and reserved, but it seemed she also loved food. The smart air conditioner blueprint excited him most. According to the system's voice, extreme weather events would arrive in the second stage, making climate control equipment extremely valuable. Combined with the newly acquired heart of space, he now had all materials needed to build the bathroom. Once they returned, he could renovate the safe house and finally take a hot shower. The thought alone felt wonderful. After dividing the supplies, the group walked out of the store. Darkness had fallen outside. A strange crimson hue stained the distant horizon, and the air grew heavy and oppressive. The atmosphere turned distinctly unsettling. Limo frowned. "Night is coming. We need to head back quickly." Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Before he finished speaking, faint rustling noises echoed from gaps between buildings lining the street. In the next instant, countless pairs of scarlet eyes glinted in the darkness, clinging to the walls in a sight that made one's scalp prickle. Chen Yao spoke anxiously. This shouldn't happen. The monsters are appearing early. Run. Once night fully falls, far more terrifying creatures will emerge. As more red eyes flickered at the street corners, Li Mo's heart tightened. He grabbed the two girls beside him and sprinted toward the residential complex. For people and a hound raced forward. Only then did Li Mo get a clear look at the creatures. They possessed human, like upper limbs, with segmented centipede bodies lined with countless thin legs that allowed them to scale walls at terrifying speed. Who would create something like this? As the group fled, a croak echoed. Croak. The sound boomed, vibrating their eardrums. Liamo glanced over his shoulder and froze. A half-story, tall giant toad squatted there, its gray, green skin covered in lumps and slimy mucus. A revolting sight. Thud. When it leaped, the ground shook, kicking up clouds of dust. It landed, turned its gaze toward the centipede monsters crawling on the walls, and shot out a black tongue. Dozens of creatures were snatched up and swallowed before they could struggle. Damn it, what other monsters are out there? Liamo muttered. Still, it was a stroke of luck. The centipede monsters had fixed their attention on the giant toad and abandoned their pursuit. The speed boost from leveling up showed its worth now. Though his clone only possessed half his power, it could still move swiftly. He noticed Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng slowing. If they kept running, they would exhaust themselves and get surrounded by the monsters. Without hesitation, Liamo stepped forward, lifted the two girls onto his shoulders, and continued sprinting. Bai Mengmeng was caught off guard, her face flushing bright red as she stiffened atop his shoulders. She had never been this physically close to a man before. Her heart raced, and her mind went blank. She clung tightly to her clothing, forgetting the terrifying creatures all around them. Liamo paid no mind to anything else, focused entirely on reaching safety. Liang Yun remained far calmer. When lifted, she steadied herself by gripping his shoulder, then relaxed. Bruce ran swiftly beside them, and Chun Yao pushed herself to keep up. Taking advantage of the giant toad's distraction, the group raced toward the residential compound. As they neared the edge of the urban zone, more survivors appeared on the road. They had spotted the horrifying wall, crawling centipedes, and fled in terror. None could match Li Mo's speed. Not far ahead, a man tripped and crashed to the ground. The centipede monsters swarmed him instantly, covering his entire body. Smaller creatures wriggled into his collar, nostrils, eyes. The shrill scream lasted only a few seconds before cutting off. The other survivors watched, overcome with terror. Being trapped by these monsters meant a slow, agonizing death. Everyone pushed themselves to run faster, desperate to put distance between themselves and the beasts. As Liamo sprinted onward, a cold snowflake drifted onto his cheek. He paused and looked up. Thick, dark clouds had gathered overhead. Flakes of snow drifted down from the sky. Liamo's heart sank. He had not expected extreme weather to arrive so soon. These were no ordinary snowflakes, the first sign of catastrophic environmental change. Amid distant screams, Liamo finally caught sight of the compound gate, where a crowd of survivors had gathered. He accelerated and ran inside, gasping heavily. He glanced backward. Many more survivors were still rushing towards safety, but the monsters stopped chasing at the boundary, as if the compound marked a protected zone. We made it. Liang Yun climbed down from his shoulders, pressing a hand to her chest. She stared at the terrifying scene in the distance, still shaken. If not for Liamo, they would have ended up as the centipede's prey. Liamo tapped Bai Mengmeng, who remained perched on his shoulder. At his touch, she clung to him even tighter. Hey, are you planning to stay up there forever? Bai Mengmeng opened one eye. She glanced around and noticed many survivors watching them, expressions filled with envy. Her face burned with embarrassment. She had squeezed her eyes shut in fright after seeing the man's brutal death, and only heard Liamo speak just now. She released her grip and jumped down. At that moment, two more figures stumbled into the compound. The woman in front wore gold-rimmed glasses and had a gentle, youthful appearance. Looking like a recent university graduate, she tightly held another girl's hand. Teacher Yi. The moment she steadied herself, Bai Mengmeng called out in surprise. The woman froze and turned her head. When she recognized Bai Mengmeng, astonishment crossed her face. Mengmeng, how did you end up here? Liamo raised an eyebrow, his gaze sweeping over the woman, still catching her breath from the run. A teacher? He had to wonder, were all teachers this striking nowadays? Yi Qingyin pulled the other girl forward, beads of sweat glistening on her forehead. Since entering this building, This was the first familiar face she had encountered. She let go of the other girl's hand, stepped forward, and pulled Bai Meng into a hug. You've been through so much, child. I wonder what happened to everyone else. But it's all right. What matters is that you survived. She stroked the girl's back gently, her voice full of sympathy. She had seen countless corpses over these past days, and the sights weighed heavily on someone who had lived a sheltered life before the apocalypse. Liamo was faintly surprised. In this world where everyone prioritized their own survival, this woman's first instinct was to comfort an acquaintance. She truly carried the heart of an educator. Still, he noticed a subtle emotion flash quickly across the other girl's face as she watched the embrace, jealousy, or something else. Bai Meng tilted her head up to look at Yi Qingyin, her eyes slightly reddening. Teacher Yi, are you a new resident? I've never seen you before. Yi Qingyin wiped the fine beads of sweat from her forehead and spoke. We were staying in another building. We were suddenly transferred here yesterday. So this woman was one of the new group of residents. She then turned her gaze toward Li Mo beside them, her brows faintly furrowed, and asked Bai Meng. Who are these two? Noticing the wariness Yi Qingyin felt toward Li Mo, Bai Meng quickly explained. This is Li Mo, and the lady next to him is Sister Liang Yun. Just now, Li Mo saved me. Upon hearing this, Yi Qingyin's expression brightened at once. She hurried to thank Li Mo. Thank you. This child has caused you trouble. The corner of Li Mo's mouth twitched almost imperceptibly. This woman must have a lack of common sense. Having survived in the apocalypse for days, she still acted as if she knew nothing of the cruelties of the world, utterly naive. Snowflakes drifted continuously from the sky, cutting off their conversation. A gust of cold wind carrying grains of snow swept over them, and each of them shuddered involuntarily. Chen Yao picked up a handful of snow and turned to Li Mo. We should head back. I have a bad feeling about this. Li Mo nodded and lifted his eyes toward the gloomy sky. The temperature had plummeted far too abruptly. Something might happen tonight, and he did not believe the claim that staying inside the building guaranteed safety. He turned and walked straight toward the lobby on the first floor. Liang Yin glanced back at Bai Meng, who was still chatting with Yi Qingyin, and called out, Meng, let's go. It's not safe lingering here. Yi Qingyin instinctively tried to stop them, but the girl standing behind her spoke first. Sister Yi, if she follows that man, Meng stands a better chance of surviving. Don't call her back. Bai Meng quickly turned and hurried after them, waving vigorously at Yi Qingyin. Inside the lobby, the bodies that had littered the floor had been piled together. Two groups faced off against one another. The leaders of each side were LV Zhan and Zhang Bo, each with a crowd of followers behind them. LV Zhan's group had more people, but Zhang Bo's side held more weapons. Neither was willing to back down, both staring at the supplies left behind by Qiao Xiong. Zhang Bo tilted his chin high, sweeping his gaze over the opposing group with contempt. LV Zhan, what right do you have to compete with me? Now that Boss Qiao is dead, these supplies naturally fall under my control. LV Zhan let out a cold laugh. These supplies originally belonged to everyone. Now that someone has passed away, they ought to be returned to the group. Why should you keep them? Do you think you are Li Mo? At the mention of Li Mo, Zhang Bo's arrogance faded noticeably. He clearly remembered how that man had materialized a pistol out of thin air. Still, he chose to take the gamble. Perhaps Li Mo had died out in the cold. If he seized these supplies now, he could survive for a long time. Even if Li Mo comes back, these supplies have nothing to do with him. Don't change the subject. His words were cut off mid-sentence. How do they have nothing to do with me? A calm voice echoed out. It was not loud, yet silence fell across the room the moment it rang out. Every pair of eyes turned toward Li Mo as he stepped into the lobby. Zhang Bo jolted in fright. He scurried over to Li Mo at once, all his previous arrogance vanishing without a trace, replaced by fawning subservience. Master Li, you've returned. You must have misheard me earlier. I was just saying that once you came back, you would have the final say over all these goods. I'll sort everything out immediately and personally deliver it to your room. Li Mo looked at Zhang Bo's beaming smile. He detected a hint of hidden emotion beneath it, yet he paid it no mind. Raw strength conquered all schemes. As long as his power far surpassed everyone else's, he need not fear any tricks from those beneath him. He patted Zhang Bo's cheek. I preferred your unruly attitude a moment ago. With that, he ignored him and walked deeper into the building. Please take care, sir. He cared nothing for the fates of these people. Right now, his top priority was returning to install the smart air conditioner. The temperature had already dropped sharply. As he passed LV Zhan, the man opened his mouth, yet in the end, he could not utter a single word. Liang Yin followed close behind Li Mo. She held her chin slightly raised beneath the stares of awe and envy filling the lobby, like a proud peacock. Chun Li Juan, standing within the crowd, paled when she saw Bai Meng following Li Mo. A moment later, however, surprise washed over her. Yi Qingyin, who had just entered the lobby, stared at the scene in complete astonishment and muttered quietly. Who exactly is this man? The girl behind her wore a similarly stunned expression. Could he truly possess such formidable power? She stared at Bai Mengming's retreating back and instantly regretted her earlier words. Zhang Bo bowed and watched Li Mo disappear from sight before letting out a long breath. He had nearly been terrified out of his wits. He had thought he would end up joining Xiao Xiong in death, and silently praised his own quick thinking. A cold gust swept into the lobby, and everyone noticed the snow outside was falling far heavier now. Several sharp-witted survivors hurried over to the pile of corpses and began stripping warm clothing from the bodies. Back on the 15th floor, when they walked past Bai Mengming's room, its door long since broken down, the girl halted. Staring at the wreckage inside, her gaze dimmed. Observing this, Liang Yun's eyes darted as an idea occurred to her. She leaned close to Li Mo's ear and whispered, "Master, the shared residency rule is active now. Why not let Meng move into our room?" Li Mo studied Bai Meng. The idea seemed worth trying. It might expand the room's available space once more. He opened the door. His doppelganger opened its eyes inside. Bai Meng, following behind, widened her eyes in shock at the sight of the room. She had known Li Mo possessed abundant supplies, yet she never imagined his living quarters would be so different. There was a large bed and a spacious sofa. How can the space be this big? Compared to her own cramped room that felt like a cell, what she saw next stunned her even further. Why are there two Li Mos? Liang Yun smiled and pulled her inside like the lady of the house. Don't be alarmed. This is one of Master's abilities. But I thought his power was only summoning objects out of thin air. Bai Mengming's mind struggled to process what she saw. Could a single person awaken two separate abilities? At that moment, a system notification appeared before Li Mo's eyes. Shared residency notice. Resident Bai Meng has entered your room. Do you accept her as a shared resident? Once both parties confirm, she will become an affiliated resident. She cannot harm you and cannot terminate the shared residency unilaterally. Bai Meng read the message and hesitated. It looked far too much like a binding contract. Seeing the text displayed on Mengming's interface, Liang Yun leaned to her ear and persuaded her. What is there to hesitate about? Do you want to endure another night listening to people battering your door? We have endless delicious food here. Ice, cold cola, strawberry cake, cream buns, anything you crave is available. Li Mo watched Liang Yun, amused. She looked just like someone coaxing a young girl. Food. Listening to the persuasive words beside her, Bai Meng swallowed hard, wavering. Seeing her struggle, Liang Yun grabbed her hand and tapped the confirm option. The shared residency contract required genuine mutual consent to take effect. No amount of outside force could complete the agreement if Bai Meng refused it deep down. I haven't made up my mind yet, Bai Meng protested softly. Liang Yun paid her no heed and pushed her down onto the sofa inside. There's no need to overthink it. You'll see how good life is here once you settle in. Bai Meng sat on the soft sofa, staring wide-eyed at the room, twisting the hem of her clothes nervously. Li Mo scanned the space and felt a flicker of disappointment. It seemed only Liang Yun's special attunement trait could create such a large expansion of space in one go. If he wanted to expand further in the future, he would need to find a space heart. Glancing around, the room felt increasingly crowded with himself, his doppelganger, Liang Yun, Bai Meng, and Bruce the dog. An idea suddenly struck him as he looked at his duplicate. He wondered if he could store the doppelganger inside his system inventory. Without delay, Li Mo reached out and touched the duplicate. In the next instant, the doppelganger vanished. Bai Meng jumped in fright, but Liang Yun paid it no mind. She walked over to Li Mo, looping her arms around his neck. Master, please build the bathroom soon. I long for a hot shower. I feel terribly uncomfortable. Li Mo met her gaze. Behave yourself. We have another guest here. Liang Yun glanced toward Meng. Instead of pulling away, she leaned even closer to him. Li Mo noted how much bolder she had grown since that night. He gently untangled her arms and summoned his system inventory with his mind. Retrieving the bathroom blueprint. Bathroom blueprint required construction materials. Space heart times 1, spirit crystal times 30, iron ingot times 30, glass times 10, all materials available. Please select a construction location. Looking at the material requirements, Li Mo grew curious. A bathroom ought to demand far more resources. The only explanation was that spirit crystals were substituting for other components. He activated the blueprint. A translucent outline appeared on the wall. Liamo positioned it on the wall where the toilet stood. Sure enough, the outline enveloped the toilet entirely. Liamo nodded in satisfaction. While teasing Liang Yun had its appeal, he disliked the thought of being watched while vulnerable. The moment he confirmed the location, the toilet vanished, and a bubble formed on the wall. 10 o'clock remaining. A 10-minute reconstruction countdown began. Liamo exhaled, visible white vapor forming in the cold air, and rubbed his shoulders. The two women wore thin clothing, and both trembled slightly from the dropping temperature inside the room. Bruce curled up in the corner, no longer panting with his tongue out. Outside the windows, night had fully fallen. A thin layer of snow covered the ground below, and snowflakes coated the glass panes. I have to build the air conditioner quickly. He retrieved another blueprint from his inventory at once. Smart air conditioner blueprint required construction materials. Iron ingot times 20, silver coin times 60, spirit crystal times 20, plastic times 10. Even Liamo winced at the material cost. Spirit crystals were already scarce, and he had just spent resources building the bathroom. He still had some silver coins left, yet barely enough to meet the requirement. He turned toward Liang Yun and suddenly remembered the supplies she had accumulated. Her savings might rival his own. Liang Yun, lend me some silver coins. I need to build an air conditioner. Without hesitation, Liang Yun flipped her hand and produced 2 gleaming gold coins, holding them out to him. Take them, master. This is everything I own. Liamo looked at the gold coins in surprise. He knew Liang Yun had earned plenty following him, but he never expected her to possess this much wealth. In these times, very few survivors could readily produce 2 gold coins. Bai Meng, seated on the sofa, stared at the glittering coins, stunned. It was the first time she had ever seen gold coins. Liamo accepted the coins. He first traded some of them for plastic through the trading hall, then initiated construction. Another translucent outline appeared in his vision, and he set the air conditioner's position above the window. 10 o'clock remaining. A countdown appeared inside the bubble. While waiting, Liamo sorted the cans of meat stacked around the room. The snow had only just started, and temperatures remained barely tolerable. The true extreme cold had yet to arrive. Stockpiling food now was wise. Once the blizzard descended and temperatures plummeted, supplies would become infinitely more valuable. 10 minutes soon passed. Comfort plus 10. The wall rippled and transformed. A frosted glass sliding door emerged. Liamo pulled the door open. Smooth white walls, resembling tiled surfaces, met his eyes. A knock revealed the walls were constructed from treated metal. The bathroom spanned roughly 10 square meters. The former toilet sat neatly to one side. A water heater and storage tank were mounted overhead. A full, surround shower head was embedded into the wall. 2 bathrobes were folded neatly in the corner. The space looked sleek and refined. The only disappointment was the lack of a bathtub. Smart water heater. Consumes 5 energy per hour storage tank. Holds 10 liters of water. Liamo read the notification and connected a virtual power cable from the window to the water heater. Wow, master, you're incredible. Liang Yun's eyes lit up at the sight. She stood on tiptoes and quickly kissed Liamo's cheek before grabbing the still stunned Bai Meng and pulling her toward the bathroom. Come on, let's take a hot bath. Bai Meng's cheeks flushed, trying to step back in resistance, yet she lacked the strength to break free. In moments, Liang Yun half dragged her inside. Faint silhouettes could be glimpsed through the frosted glass as Liang Yun chatted playfully with Bai Meng inside. Liamo looked away and raised his gaze to the newly formed air conditioner mounted above the window. Smart air conditioner cannot be upgraded. Description. Consumes 8 energy per hour. Adjustable temperature range, 40 degrees Celsius maximum, 30 degrees Celsius minimum. Enjoy comfort with this unit. Comfort plus 5-inch display screen on the air conditioner showed the current indoor temperature, 6 degrees Celsius. Liamo wasted no time linking another virtual power cable to the unit and pressed the power switch. A soft beep sounded. Warm air streamed out of the vents, chasing away most of the chill filling the room. Knock, knock, knock. A knock echoed at the door. Liamo raised an eyebrow and peered through the observation window. Zhang Bo stood outside, rubbing his cold hands together. Liamo pulled the door open a crack. Warm air washed over Zhang Bo's face the instant the gap appeared. The warmth lifted his spirits, and shock flooded him. How could the room stay so warm with temperatures plummeting outside? The survivors in the building had temporarily reached a truce. Everyone huddled around bonfires in the lobby, as their own rooms were uninhabitable in the cold. Have you sorted out the supplies? The sudden voice pulled Zhang Bo from his thoughts. He remembered his errand, and a wide smile returned to his face. Yes, masterly. Everything is ready. He lifted a bulging sack from behind his back, clearly stuffed full of goods. Liamo took the sack and set it inside the room. After a moment's thought, he pulled out a portion of supplies and handed them to Zhangbo. Pass along any useful intelligence to me first from now on. Zhangbo looked utterly honored. Of course, Master Li. I will report every piece of news to you immediately. You really don't need to give me supplies. Liamo shot him a glance. Return them if you don't want them. No, I'll take them. Zhangbo laughed awkwardly and stowed the supplies in his system inventory. When Zhangbo made no move to leave, Liamo frowned. Is there something else? Sensing Liamo's growing impatience, Zhangbo stopped lingering in the warmth and spoke quickly. It's about the meeting the leaders from other buildings summoned Xiao Xiong to attend. Now that Xiao Xiong is dead, I was wondering if you'd like to go instead. Liamo considered it. With his doppelganger, he could safely attend anywhere and gather valuable information. Very well. What time? Tomorrow noon, in the underground parking garage. The underground parking garage. I won't disturb you further. Rest well. Liamo closed the door and sank onto the sofa, deep in thought. He had never visited the underground parking garage before. From Zhangbo's words, it appeared to form an underground network connecting the entire residential complex. Just then, the bathroom door slid open, billowing clouds of steam outward. The water is wonderful. I haven't bathed this comfortably in ages. A pair of delicate, damp feet appeared first. Following the trail of dripping water upward, Liang Yun stepped out, drying her hair while wearing a white bathrobe. The hot water had left her complexion glowing. Her bathrobe hung loosely open as she walked. In stark contrast, Bai Mingming was wrapped tightly in her bathrobe, the hem dragging across the floor. Liang Yun caught Li Mo's gaze and smiled, settling herself onto his lap and wrapping her arms around his neck. What? Have I captivated you? Li Mo breathed in her gentle scent and pinched her cheek lightly. You grow far too bold. Liang Yun pouted and looked up at him. I'm sorry, master. Watching their interaction, the warmth from the hot bath made by Mengming's face burn even brighter. Gurgle and awkward rumble cut through the quiet. Bai Mingming clutched her stomach and stared at the floor. You two must be hungry. Let's eat. Liamo walked over to the yellow storage crate. Focusing his thoughts, he reached inside and lifted out a complete barbecue set, filled with skewers, beer, and side dishes. He had discovered that visualizing a full meal set allowed him to retrieve a greater variety of food. The sight of the food made both women swallow hard. At the makeshift dining space, Bai Mingming ate frantically. Her mouth was already crammed full, yet she continued shoveling food in. Tears streamed down her face. Just as Liang Yun's had the first time she ate well. She wiped her cheeks while eating. It's so delicious, I never want to eat dry, bitter hard bread again. Liang Yun smiled softly at the girl, overcome with emotion. Slow down, Mingming. No one is rushing you. Oh, okay. Liamo took a sip of beer and watched the scene. He felt a strange sense of calm. It had been a long time since he experienced such liveliness after arriving in this world. Snow fell outside, while warmth filled the room. Barbecue spread across their makeshift table, accompanied by two young women beside him. It was pure comfort. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the first floor lobby was packed with survivors. Furniture blocked the entryway to keep out frigid winds. Everyone clustered around bonfires for warmth. Some survivors even draped wooden planks over their bodies to retain heat. They disliked staying close to the entrance, yet smoke from the fires would poison them if they gathered deeper inside the building. A man shivered and spoke. Damn, the weather changed out of nowhere. Tell me about it. I miss having a warm room to stay in. If only we had barbecue and cold beer right now. Just thinking about it sounds amazing. Every survivor swallowed hungrily at the thought. Hey guys, do I smell barbecue? You're imagining things from the cold. But at that moment, strange noises echoed from outside. Scuffling footsteps grew audible. Zhangbo had just returned from visiting Liamo, still thinking about the warmth inside that room. When he heard the sounds upon entering the lobby, all heads turned. Through the small window, blurry human shapes loomed in the darkness outside. Did anyone see that? There are people out there. Don't joke around. The cold must be addling your brain. Who would be wandering outside in this weather? Speaking of which, doesn't it keep getting colder? The footsteps grew louder, overlapping as if a crowd was marching toward the building. Thud, 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 thud. A knock hit the door, followed by shouts. Open up. It's freezing out here. Is anyone inside? Monsters are chasing us. Please let us in. Every survivor inside felt a chill creep down their spine, the hair on their necks standing on end. How could so many people be stranded outside? Chen Lijuan recognized one familiar female voice, her face filling with disbelief. She called out shakily, Xiaoya, is that you, Xiaoya? Mom, I heard your voice. Are you in there? Yiting, is that you, Yiting? It's me. Husband, Open the door and let me in. Familiar voices called out one after another. Everyone heard the voices of loved ones they missed dearly. Even Jean heard his wife's voice. Instead of joy, a wave of dread crashed over him. Wrapped in a scavenged-down jacket, his nose red from cold, Jean stood abruptly as he stared toward the door. This isn't right. None of this is real. Don't fall for the trick. He hurried forward and grabbed hold of a man about to unlock the entrance, turning to shout at everyone. Think carefully. How can it be such a coincidence that every single one of us hears a family member outside the door? I hear my wife's voice too, but she died of cancer long before we arrived at this residential complex. His words poured cold water over the crowd. Joy at the discovery of a loved one instantly faded, replaced by horror on Chun Lijuan's face. Tears streamed down her cheeks. She covered her mouth and whispered through sobs. You're not Xiaoya, you aren't. It made sense. Everyone here had been pulled into this place at random. How could so many familiar faces appear out of nowhere? Zhangbo watched the crowd and scoffed dismissively. Just a bunch of hallucinations. You're all terrified over nothing. Lu Zhan watched the group step backward and was about to let out a sigh of relief when a child's cry echoed from outside. Dad, are you in there? I suddenly ended up here from my room, and Long Long's gone. It's so dark out here. I'm so scared. Zhang Bo, who had been sneering moments earlier, began to tremble. Long Long was his daughter's favorite stuffed toy. Only she knew that name. Ever since he was dragged to this dreadful place, his biggest worry had been his 6-year-old daughter, left alone without her mother at home. His gaze turned sharp. He shoved through the crowd and headed straight for the entrance. Lu Zhan hurried forward to stop him. Have you lost your mind? That's not your family out there. Bloodshot eyes stared back at him. Zhang Bo pulled a long blade from his system inventory and pressed it against Lu Zhan's throat. His voice rough. Get out of my way. The others might be illusions, but not my daughter. Only we know what she just said. Lu Zhan's eyes widened at the blade at his neck. You. Before he could finish speaking, Zhang Bo roughly pushed him aside. Lu Zhan stumbled. He looked up to see Zhang Bo clear debris blocking the doorway and yank open the heavy door. Don't. It was already too late. Frigid wind and swirling snow surged inside. A crowd of men, women, the elderly and children stood outside. Zhang Bo paid no mind to the biting blizzard. He dropped his weapon and pulled the young girl into a tight embrace. Tears rolled down his face as he choked out words. Thank goodness, Xiaoyan. I'm so glad you're all right. Thank goodness. At almost the exact same moment, all the figures outside rushed into the hall. Seeing faces they knew, the survivors inside lost hold of the fear they had suppressed. They ran forward to embrace them. Xiaoya, let Mom check if you're hurt. Honey, I'm so relieved you're safe. Sister, I've missed you so much. To these lonely souls ripped away from their ordinary lives, the appearance of people they loved felt like finding a safe harbor. The hall filled with weeping, and for a moment, the bitter cold seemed to lift. Lu Zhan stared in shock as a woman stepped toward him, a person he had nearly forgotten. His heart skipped a beat. Azan, I've missed you. Almost without thinking, he reached out to touch her cheek. Warmth beneath his fingertips proved she was physically real. Yet he could feel no joy. He remembered clearly. The woman he loved had long since passed away in their original world. The woman drew closer, seemingly ready to wrap her arms around him. But a chill ran down Lu Zhan's spine, and he subconsciously stepped back 2 paces. Azan, I don't understand what happened. I woke up right here. I remember clearly that I was supposed to be dead. Staring at this woman with the same face, bearing the same temperament and voice. A primal dread rose up from deep within Lu Zhan. Every cell in his body screamed a warning. Beside the bonfire, everyone felt the cold grow far less harsh. Each survivor sat beside someone they held dearest. Since arriving in this strange world, Lu Zhan had never seen everyone wear such genuine, happy smiles. Even Zhang Bo looked gentle and caring. It's all right, Azan. Take all the time you need to accept this. Have some hot water first. Lu Zhan glanced sideways at the mug she held out. He reached out and took it automatically, just as he used to in the past. His mind whirled with uncertainty. Could he have imagined everything? Could all of this truly be real? Elsewhere, the room was filled with a pleasant aroma mixed with the faint scent of alcohol. Several empty liquor bottles sat on the table. Bai Mengming's cheeks were flushed as she lay asleep on the sofa, soft snores escaping her. Li Mo lay drowsily on the comfortable large bed, scrolling through the group chat channel while enjoying a soothing Thai massage from Liang Yun. User Chin. Damn guys, this freezing weather is brutal. User Wong. Tell me about it. I'm already freezing. I've got plenty of firewood, but it won't last forever. Let's hope the snow stops tomorrow. User Zhong. Hey, has anyone else seen tons of people you know suddenly show up? Like family or old friends. User Zhang family? Nope. It's just freezing tonight. Nothing weird going on. You must be seeing hallucinations from staring at the fire smoke. You sound like the little match girl. User Jean. I'm an orphan. User Jiang. Anyone have blueprints for items that produce warmth? I'll pay well. Limo's gaze locked onto Zhong's message. Strangers' loved ones suddenly appearing? That could not be a good sign. These were almost certainly monsters in disguise. If they could pull off such a convincing act, these creatures had developed human-like intelligence. Things are getting more and more dangerous. Liang Yun also read the message. She brushed her fingers gently over Li Mo's furrowed brows. With you here, master, dealing with these beings will be simple. Right then, a voice echoed inside Li Mo's head. Today's phrase has refreshed. My eyes are the measuring stick. My eyes are the measuring stick within a 100-meter radius. Valuable supplies will glow brightly. Li Mo raised an eyebrow. This ability was excellent. It was perfect for exploration. With the city buried under blizzard snow covering countless supplies, this skill could not have arrived at a better time. Liang Yun's hands continued to work gently along his waist as she gave the massage. Li Mo sighed quietly. She really seemed to enjoy this. Beside them, Bai Mengmeng frowned in her sleep, as if dreaming of an earthquake. A few droplets fell onto her cheeks. Early the next morning, dawn barely broke. Li Mo opened his eyes and carefully moved a leg that rested across his chest. He stood and walked over to the window. After a night of wind and snow, thick snow covered everything outside. The snowfall had weakened, only tiny flakes drifting down from the sky. He checked the window system. Stored power had dropped to merely 30 units. That was nowhere near enough to run all systems for a full day. He opened the trading panel, flooded with rapidly updating posts. Buying all kinds of food at high prices. Message me for offers. Brand new cotton, padded coats for sale. Essential for survival. Serious buyers only. 70 copper coins for 1 loaf of bread. Fresh water for sale, 10 copper coins per bottle. Bulk orders welcome. Just as he suspected, food prices had surged. Even plain bread cost 70 copper coins. Water had grown cheaper, though it made sense. Snow covered the land, and anyone could melt it for drinking water. Li Mo listed several cans of preserved meat for 2 silver coins each. He had nearly doubled the price, yet the listings were bought instantly the moment they went live. In an instant, Li Mo gained 2 gold coins. He opened a private chat with the users selling cotton coats. Li, how much for a cotton padded coat set? Chun, 5 silver coins for 1 set. Don't complain. These coats are lifesavers in this weather. Li, impossible. 5 silver coins is far too expensive. That could buy plenty of food. Would you take 2 silver coins? Chun, come on, you can't haggle that low. The lowest I can go is 4 silver coins. Take it or leave it. Li, all right. He closed the panel and looked at the 3 sets of cotton coats in his inventory. He equipped 1 set on his clone and tossed the remaining 2 beside the still, sleeping Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng. After purchasing more supplies, Li Mo began upgrading his solar window. 14 minutes remaining until the newly upgraded window finishes construction. Solar glass window. Level 4, durability 40/40ths. Deconstructible, glass times 3, timber times 7, iron block times 9. Upgrade requirements. Spirit crystal times 10, iron block times 20, glass times 10, gold coin times 3, level 5 blueprint, comfort value times 15. Description, improved defense and durability. Solar, powered window generating 8 power units each hour, with internal storage capacity for 150 power units. Li Mo noticed that both doors and windows hit a major threshold at level 5. Upgrades required far more resources and a level 5 blueprint. Still, after this upgrade, power generation nearly matched consumption. He would no longer need to worry constantly about electricity for the time being. Feeling sticky and uncomfortable, he quickly took a shower and summoned his clone with a thought. He could now summon 2 clones, but he planned to keep the second one in reserve for emergencies. Walking toward the door, he glanced at Bruce sprawled across the floor. Li Mo muttered to himself, I wonder if the clone can withstand the freezing temperatures outside. Li Mo chose not to wake Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng. He stepped outside. The moment he opened the door, a rush of icy air washed over him. It was manageable. 3 points of constitution combined with the clone's 50% damage reduction kept the chill bearable. When he reached the lobby on the first floor, he sensed the temperature rise slightly. He saw a crowd of people sleeping around the bonfire, nearly filling the entire hall. Li Mo's expression darkened. These people had not been here previously. Many of the new faces were elders, women, and young children. All of them wore peaceful, satisfied smiles, sleeping soundly. Li Mo immediately understood. This matched the strange phenomenon described in the chat. These extra figures were definitely not human. Yet to Li Mo's senses, their auras were faint, posing no direct threat to him. He walked toward the main entrance, paying them no further attention. Right now, he needed to test his newly unlocked ability. Gathering usable supplies was his priority. He also needed to attend the underground parking lot meeting at noon. As soon as he stepped out of the apartment building, temperatures plummeted sharply. The thick cotton coat protected him well. Snow reached nearly to his ankles. The whole world was wrapped in white as far as the eye could see. Li Mo trudged forward. Soon, a faint white glow caught his vision in the distance. A spark of joy lit up his face. He hurried over and brushed away the snow, revealing a frozen loaf of bread. He stored it in his inventory without hesitation. I have enough food for myself, but this can be traded to others. Li Mo kept walking and spotted another glow. Beside the white light was a green radiance. After clearing away the snow, he found a biscuit beneath the white glow and a pack of dried meat under the green light. Staring at the supplies, Li Mo pondered. Do different colored glows correspond to different values of items? After searching for a while longer, he confirmed his theory. Each color marked supplies of varying worth. The brightest signal he discovered was blue, which hid a silver treasure chest. Along with basic supplies inside was a simple, rough map marking general locations across the region. This ability is incredibly useful. Normally hunting for supplies under all this snow would waste hours of effort. Li Mo brushed snow from his hair when his toes suddenly stiffened. He checked his status and saw his health had dropped slightly. Damn, these shoes aren't suited for walking through deep snow. At that moment, his peripheral vision caught a glow, an unfamiliar shade he had never seen before. Purple. Li Mo changed direction at once and hurried toward the purple light. He halted beside a wall outside a shop with shattered glass doors. Dozens of monsters crowded inside. The rabbit-headed creatures he had encountered previously. They huddled together, seemingly hibernating. The purple glow flickered deep within the cluster of monsters. Li Mo held his breath and crept through the broken entrance. The rabbit monsters slept soundly, long tongues lolling out and dripping saliva. None of them noticed the intruder in their nest. Li Mo estimated at least 40 or 50 monsters filled the room. Without his clone, he would never dare step foot here. Plop! A wet, slimy tongue dropped onto his face. Li Mo's mouth twitched in disgust. He pulled the sticky appendage away from his skin. His heart skipped a beat, certain he had been discovered. When he saw the rabbit monsters remained asleep, he quietly exhaled in relief and tossed the tongue aside. He quickly moved to the source of the purple light and gasped. It was a golden treasure chest resting on what looked like a fluffy rug. Li Mo reached for the chest without delay. But at that exact second, a massive eye snapped open directly in front of him. Its giant pupil filled his entire field of vision. He realized then that this was no rug. It was the ear of an enormous beast. Li Mo wasted no time and opened the treasure chest. He stowed the contents without checking what they were and spun around to flee. Roar! A deafening roar shook the space, carrying a faint psychic attack. Turbulent gusts swept outward, waking all the hibernating rabbit monsters. Scarlet eyes locked onto the trespasser instantly. Li Mo felt a sharp stab in his brain as he ran. Fortunately, his powerful spirit resistance and the clone's pain mitigation softened the blow. A gust of wind rushed toward him. Li Mo dodged instinctively as a giant rabbit ear swept past his scalp. Before he could steady himself, another ear slammed sideways into him. Li Mo was sent flying violently. Blood spilled from his mouth, and his health fell by half. Yet the blow hurled him straight toward the exit. He crashed through the broken shop window and escaped outside. Li Mo sprinted across the snow with more than 60 rabbit monsters hot on his heels. Some dropped to all fours, racing after him with blood-red eyes. Boom! A deafening crash echoed behind him. Li Mo glanced back to see the shop collapse completely. A colossal rabbit head emerged from the rubble, but it struggled briefly before falling still, apparently trapped by debris. Luck really is on my side. The giant rabbit beast was what Li Mo feared most. The smaller monsters could sprint quickly in short bursts, but they could not keep pace forever. As he ran, he noticed the pursuers slowing. Their limbs stiffened, their movements growing sluggish. So that's why they entered hibernation. This extreme cold affects these monsters too. Li Mo watched the gap between himself and the creatures widen and let out a laugh. Haha, you beasts will never catch me. Go nibble carrots. Elsewhere, Bai Mingming slowly pushed herself upright and rubbed her eyes, still dazed. I can't remember anything. She turned her head and spotted scattered clothing on the bed, then saw Li Mo sitting quietly with his eyes closed. Her cheeks flushed. The faint lingering scent in the air made her connect the dots about the previous night. She hurriedly checked herself and relaxed when she found nothing amiss. Yet a strange twinge of disappointment lingered. Was she not appealing enough? Her hand brushed against the cotton coat laid beside her. Warmth filled her chest. She knew Liam-O must have left it for her. She walked over to Liam-O and waved a hand in front of his face. Brotherly, did you send your clone out? She had seen Liam-O do this before and guessed he was controlling his clone away from the room. Liam-O's physical body ignored her. His full attention was fixed on his fleeing clone, and he had blocked out all non-life, threatening distractions from the outside world. Bai Mingming rested a finger against her lips, thinking. She decided to go earn supplies. Those 2 gold coins she had seen earlier left a deep impression on her. Coupled with the delicious food from last night, she did not want to rely entirely on others. She had once traded healing support to others in exchange for supplies. I can't hold our group back. Come on, Ming, you can do this. After cheering herself on, she washed up quickly. Before leaving, she picked up the spare cotton coat and gently draped it over the sleeping Liang Yun. Bai Mingming remembered walking alongside Li Mo before, noticing how wary everyone was toward them. No one dared to target her anymore. She stepped into the corridor and pulled her coat tighter. Stepping out of the warm air-conditioned room sent a chill through her body. When she reached the first-floor lobby, she froze at the sight before her. When did all these people get here? The crowded hall looked like a bustling market. She spotted Chen Lijuan standing next to an unfamiliar young woman. Recalling the supplies she had lent out earlier, she walked over. Sister Chen, what's going on here? Chen Lijuan looked worn out. Her face lit up when she saw Bai Mingming. Mingming, I found my daughter Xiaoya. The young woman beside her smiled at Bai Mingming. Hello, Mingming. Bai Mingming studied the unfamiliar girl, who appeared gentle and quiet. Congratulations, Sister Chen. When will you return the supplies I lent you? The warm smile vanished from Chen Lijuan's face. She rubbed her dirty hair. She stared at Bai Mingming's clean face and new cotton coat. She had seen cotton coats listed on the trading board. One set cost enough food to feed her for multiple days. A selfish thought crossed her mind. This young girl had latched onto the powerful Liam-O. She must have endless supplies. How petty of her to ask for those supplies back after borrowing them. Chen Lijuan's face fell. She licked her cracked, dry lips and spoke. Mingming, you know how things are right now. It's freezing cold and snowing outside. I can't go scavenge for supplies even if I wanted to. Besides, my daughter's here now. We've got one more mouth to feed. Several people nearby overheard their conversation. When they saw it was Bai Mingming, looks of surprise crossed their faces. They loved dealing with this gullible girl. In the past, whenever they got injured, they would ask Bai Mingming to heal them yet refuse to pay. They would drop to their knees and put on a pitiful act, and the soft-hearted girl would always let them off without compensation. That's right, Mingming. We're all struggling badly. There's simply no supplies to spare. You've got such a kind heart, Mingming. Good fortune will come to you. Bai Mingming listened to the crowd's words, looking at Chen Lijuan's sorrowful expression and the girl standing beside her. Her heart softened instantly, but her sharp eyes caught sight of the bulging pocket on Chen Lijuan's clothes, and she quickly realized what was going on. Her system backpack was full, so she was carrying extra supplies on her person. I can't give you any more supplies this time. Besides, you've got things in your pocket. Chen Lijuan heard this and did not so much as blush. This is just emergency rations. This is all I have left. Achoo! Xiaoya shivered from the cold and sneezed. She stared at the thick cotton coat Bai Mingming wore and said with a wrong tone, Mom, I'm freezing. Chen Lijuan's face filled with distress at the sight. Her gaze fell on Bai Mingming's warm coat, and a greedy thought crossed her mind. Mingming, look how close Xiaoya is to freezing. How about lending her your coat? You can always get another one later. Bai Mingming's eyes widened. I can't do that. This is my only coat. She was cut off before she could finish speaking. Come on, don't be so stingy. You can just ask Liam-O to buy you a new one, can't you? As she spoke, Chen Lijuan reached out, clearly intending to snatch the coat by force. Everyone present knew that while Liam-O was someone no one dared provoke, Bai Mingming had a gentle temperament, and manipulating her would be effortless. Bai Mingming was frightened. Just then, bang. The apartment entrance door was kicked wide open. Frigid wind swept into the hall, making everyone shudder. The crowd jumped in shock, ready to curse, but when they turned and saw who had arrived, all words died on their lips. Liam-O stood there, breathing heavily, snow dusting his clothes, his expression dark and gloomy. He had overheard the argument from a distance, and as he drew closer, he clearly heard they were bullying Bai Mingming. Rage surged within him, and he kicked the door open. When Bai Mingming saw Liam-O, her face lit up. She hurried to stand behind him. Liam-O frowned and asked, Are you all right? Did these bastards hurt you? Bai Mingming clutched the back of his jacket, speaking angrily. I'm fine, but they tried to steal my cotton coat. I truly misjudged them. Liamo turned his head, his gaze icy as he stared at the crowd. Chun Lijuan trembled in fear and ducked her head, hiding behind others. Xiaoya's eyes lit up as she looked at Liamo. She stepped forward and put on a miserable expression. Sir, you must be Liamo, right? Please have mercy on my mother and me. You're the one in charge of this building. You can't stand by and watch us suffer. Liamo rolled his eyes. He sensed something unnatural about this woman. He instantly guessed she was not human, and without hesitation, he swung his palm. Slap. Powered by Li Mo's superhuman physique, the blow sent Xiaoya crashing heavily to the floor. Blood trickled from the corner of her mouth, and several of her teeth fell out. You imposters put on quite a convincing show. You've even learned emotional blackmail, and you dare target my person. Chun Lijuan charged forward screaming, forgetting all caution as she watched her daughter fall. Stop. Leave my daughter alone. I'll fight you. Liamo barely had time to register the figure rushing toward him before he recognized her voice as Chun Lijuan's. Before she could reach him, Liamo lifted his leg and kicked her hard in the stomach. Chun Lijuan let out a muffled groan. Her face paled instantly, and she collapsed to the ground, retching. The others stepped back in terror, staring at Liamo with dread. At that moment, a faint wisp of gray light drifted from Chun Lijuan's body toward Xiaoya on the floor. Chun Lijuan, sprawled on the ground, visibly grew weaker. Liamo's eyes narrowed as he watched Xiaoya. He needed to confirm his suspicion. He knelt down. As Xiaoya stared at him in terror, he grabbed her hand and twisted. One of her fingers snapped cleanly. "Ea!" A shrill cry of pain echoed through the hall. Chun Lijuan watched her daughter's agony and burst into hysterical weeping. Stop! Please, don't hurt her. Just as Liamo suspected, another streak of gray light flowed out of Chun Lijuan and into Xiaoya's body. The broken finger mended more than halfway in an instant. Humph. So you survived by draining your loved one's emotional essence. No wonder your act is so believable. Upon hearing this, Xiaoya's terrified expression twisted into vicious hatred, and her pupils turned pure white. Liamo stood, looking down at her with undisguised disdain. Before she could attack, he brought his foot crashing down. A sharp crack echoed. Xiaoya's head burst like a smashed watermelon. Flesh and blood splattered all over Chun Lijuan. She froze, staring in disbelief, her lips trembling as she struggled to speak. Liamo stepped forward. He knew exactly what she planned to shout, calling him a devil, condemning his cruelty. He had no intention of letting her speak. Drawing his large machete, he swung horizontally and severed her head. Supplies spilled out from Chun Lijuan's corpse. Liamo turned toward Bai Mingming. You see? She never lacked supplies. Only you would fall for her pitiful act. Bai Mingming nodded blankly, shaken by what she had witnessed. She spoke softly, nervously. Brotherly, couldn't you just teach them a lesson? There was no need to kill them both. Liamo clicked his tongue. He had not expected Bai Mingming to remain so naive even after everything that had happened. Still, he spoke gently, seeing her innocent outlook. If they dare rob you today, tomorrow they will stab you in the back when you least expect it. Mingming, in this world, other people are a living hell. If you refuse to be ruthless, you will never know how you meet your end. You wouldn't want to be captured by villains and suffer endless torment, would you? Bai Mingming shook her head violently, staring at Liamo with frightened eyes. A faint gentle smile tugged at Liamo's lips. Good. Remember this. I am the only one you can trust. Do not believe anyone else. Now, it is time to test your resolve. Liamo stepped into the crowd and dragged out the man who had kept his head lowered the whole time, lifting him off the ground like a chick to stand before Bai Mingming. Master Li, I only took a little food. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. The man's legs buckled, and he knelt, kowtowing frantically. Liamo paid no heed to his pleas. He walked over to Bai Mingming. This man received plenty of supplies from you, didn't he? Bai Mingming twisted the hem of her clothes nervously. She met Liamo's suddenly cold gaze and nodded. Yes, I felt sorry for him, so very well. Liamo looked down at the begging man and asked, Tell the truth. Were you short of supplies? Petrified by Liamo's icy stare, the man dared not lie. His voice trembled. No, I wasn't lacking anything. I just saw this young lady was kind-hearted, so I thought I could ask for more. You heard that, Mingming. Even when you help them, they show no gratitude. They will only grow bolder, draining every last resource from you until you have nothing left. Liamo raised his machete, then paused. He suddenly remembered the upgraded blade was far too heavy for Bai Mingming to wield. He instead pulled out his pistol and handed it to her. Go on. Kill him. Bai Mingming trembled as she took the gun. Her heart lurched at his command. Though she had seen countless corpses these days, taking the life of a living person filled her with dread. Yet beneath Li Mo's frigid stare, she understood. If she hesitated now, he would abandon her. The man on his knees begged continuously, terrified to the point of losing control of his bladder. Bai Mingming thought over Li Mo's words. She steeled herself and pulled the trigger. Bang! Blood spilled from the man's body. The moment she fired, all strength left her, and she stood motionless in a daze. Li Mo's expression softened at the sight. He kicked the corpse aside, stepped forward, and put an arm around Bai Mingming's shoulder, gently pinching her cheek. Well done. I knew I could count on you. He retrieved the pistol from her hand, then turned toward the terrified survivors and shouted. Zhangbo, LV Jean, get over here. They had rushed downstairs the moment Li Mo kicked open the door and witnessed everything that unfolded. Hearing their names called, they quickly stepped out from the crowd. Zhangbo hurried forward with a flattering look. Yes, Master Li. What are your orders? Li Mo tapped Zhangbo's head with the pistol. Didn't you say you would report everything to me immediately? How did these monsters sneak into the building without you noticing? Zhangbo shuddered. He knew Li Mo was referring to the strangers who had appeared recently. Master Li, these people arrived in the middle of last night. It was so late, I was afraid of disturbing your rest, so I didn't send word. Li Mo let out a mocking laugh. I suspect you found someone you thought was your family and chose to stay silent. It's not like that, Master Li. I did find my daughter, but she seemed genuine at first. Pain flickered across his face as he spoke. The night before, he had accidentally seen his daughter, her mouth covered in blood, feeding on a corpse in the hall. Coupled with his steadily worsening health, he had long since realized the truth. It was all an illusion. Standing beside him, LV Jean wore a numb expression. Li Mo, I know these creatures are not human. I've noticed something strange. Only those who stayed in the hall yesterday found supposed family members. I also saw someone who looked like my wife. Li Mo glanced at him in surprise. He had not expected LV Jean to be so rational. What did you decide to do? I killed her. I refused to let that fake wear my wife's face. It would be an insult to her memory. Li Mo raised an eyebrow, impressed. You have courage. Go gather all these people together. LV Jean was stunned. You aren't planning to. He cut himself off, unable to finish the thought. The idea was too cruel. There were elders and even children among them. Reading his expression, Li Mo knew what he feared. Relax. I'm not going to do what you're imagining. I only intend to lock them up to stop them from harming others. Li Mo was not reckless. He had no idea what these entities truly were. Killing them granted no experience points. Eliminating one was one thing, but a mass slaughter could trigger unforeseen consequences. Zhangbo breathed a sigh of relief. If he had been ordered to carry out executions himself, he might have lost his mind. He glanced sideways at LV Jean, silently thinking the man was ruthless enough to slay his own fake spouse. LV Jean paid him no mind. He turned to address the crowd, explaining Li Mo's arrangement and the danger these creatures posed. Listen to me. The relatives you have found are not real. Have you all noticed your bodies growing weaker and weaker? We do not intend to harm them. We only want to isolate them. Still, the crowd resisted fiercely. They could feel their vitality fading, yet they could not bear to lose the family they had so miraculously recovered. But the world rarely granted such perfect wishes. One could not have everything. Li Mo watched LV Jean organizing the crowd and nodded, turning his attention elsewhere. He had little interest in their fate. However, the thought of these monsters sneaking to attack his room at night pushed him to secure them first. He looked over at Bai Mingming. She remained quiet, head hung low, still shaken from taking a life. He led her back to their room. Liang Yun had woken up. She stood facing the doorway, wearing a matching set of combat outfits she had found in the clothing store. The sudden sound of the door opening startled her. She quickly grabbed clothing to cover herself, her cheeks flushing bright red. Master, you're back. Li Mo saw what she was doing and smiled. That set suits you well. It also boosts attack speed. Liang Yun grew even more flustered. She pulled clothing over her head and quickly changed. Soon she was dressed in her usual outfit once more. After tidying herself, she sat beside the quiet, downcast Bai Mingming and asked Li Mo curiously. Master, what happened to Mingming? She looks terribly upset. Oh, nothing major. She just took a life. She hasn't processed it yet. Liang Yun sat down beside Bai Mingming and spoke softly. Mingming, are you all right? Bai Mingming shook her head gently. Seeing her mood, Liang Yun had an idea. She pulled a cream cake out of her system storage and held it out. Here, I've been saving this and haven't eaten it yet. Bai Mingming's mouth watered at the sight of the cake. Her gloomy face brightened instantly. She pushed all the recent horrors from her mind and looked gratefully at Liang Yun. Thank you, Sister Liang. Li Mo watched Liang Yun and thought to himself that she truly was a reliable partner. Shifting his focus, Li Mo finally had time to sort through the loot from the golden treasure chest. Iron times 50, spirit crystal times 50, gold coin times 5, random level 5 blueprint times 1, bunny statue times 1, random skill scroll times 1. Li Mo stared at the contents of his backpack, eyes widening. The rewards were extraordinarily generous. He had gained 5 gold coins, a level 5 upgrade blueprint, and an item he had never heard of, the bunny statue. He pulled the statue out, and a system notification popped up immediately. Bunny statue. Description: may be bound to a room. Once bound, all occupants of the room gain +2 speed. He was amazed after reading the description. This was an incredibly powerful treasure. The buff applied to everyone inside. Li Mo already possessed 6 speed. Adding another 2 would bring his total to 8. Even if rabbit-headed monsters activated their speed skills, they would never be able to catch him. Li Mo bound the statue to his room without hesitation. A faint white light emanated from the statue in his hands, and it embedded itself into the wall. A warm current flowed through Li Mo's legs. He tested his movement and could clearly feel his speed increased. Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng also sensed the change in their bodies, gazing in surprise at the statue mounted on the wall. Master, my speed went up by 2 points. Li Mo explained casually. This statue grants everyone inside the room +2 speed. He then pulled out the skill scroll and used it at once. Iron Skull. Description: consume 30 stamina to activate. Your head becomes extremely tough, capable of blocking ordinary bladed attacks. Li Mo twitched his mouth reading the skill information. Truly, random scrolls bring unexpected results. What an odd ability. What good is strengthening only my head? The only practical use he could imagine was charging enemies headfirst. He stored the skill information away and walked to the door. Now that he held the level 5 blueprint, his first priority was upgrading the entrance. Materials meet requirements. Proceed with upgrade. Upgrade. You have used a random level 5 blueprint. Random function will be assigned. 2000 hours countdown begins. Li Mo frowned at the prompt. Random function? Do level 5 doors gain special abilities? 20 minutes passed quickly. Indestructible steel door. LV5. Durability, 80-80. Deconstruction yield. Iron times 14, spirit crystal times 9. Upgrade requirements. Iron times 40, gold coin times 5, spirit crystal times 60, level 6 blueprint times 1. Description: it can sprout steel spikes to attack enemies. Who said maces cannot be rectangular? The level 5 steel door boasted 80 durability and offensive steel spikes, perfect for both attack and defense. Li Mo then took out his pistol and began upgrading it. Fine pistol. LV, 3 max, durability, 25/25. Deconstruction yield. Iron chunk times 10, iron times 5, spirit crystal times 1. Description: can consume spirit crystals directly from system storage to replenish ammunition. Attack power greatly enhanced. If your hand speed is fast enough, it can function like a machine gun. Li Mo let out a slow breath. Now fully equipped, he was ready to head down to the underground parking lot for the meeting. Liang Yun stood up immediately when she saw Li Mo preparing to head out and asked with concern, Master, are you going out to scavenge supplies? Li Mo met her expectant gaze and paused before speaking. Today I'm meeting with leaders from the other residential buildings to discuss matters and gather information. Beside them, Bai Mengmeng lifted her head. Her previous timidity had faded, replaced by resolve. Brotherly, I want to come too. Seeing the change in Bai Mengmeng, Li Mo nodded. Very well, you may join us. The three wrapped themselves in thick cotton coats and stepped out of the apartment. Just as Li Mo reached to close the door, Bruce trotted out behind them, tongue lolling. The group arrived on the ground floor. The fire in the lobby continued to burn. Lu Zhan was locked in a heated argument with several other survivors. Near the entrance, Chen Yao and Yi Qingyin walked back side by side. Li Mo blinked in surprise. He had not expected the two to be traveling together. Confused by the scene unfolding in the hall, Liang Yun leaned in and whispered, Master, what is going on here? Her question reminded Li Mo that she was unaware of recent events. He explained as they walked forward. Doppelgangers disguised as people's loved ones have infiltrated the building. These creatures feed on human emotions. Everyone is preparing to lock them up in a designated area for now. Liang Yun gasped in shock. So many monsters. What should we? Rest assured, they possess no combat power. Besides, I have plans for them once they are imprisoned. Li Mo had already thought of a use for these creatures. They would serve as perfect decoys to venture into highly dangerous zones ahead of him. He paid no more attention to the chaotic dispute in the lobby, leading the two young women and the dog. He pushed open the door leading down to the underground parking garage. A bitter, piercing cold washed over them. Even wrapped in cotton outerwear, Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng involuntarily hunched their shoulders. Dim light filled the underground garage, and the green-painted flooring cast an eerie glow across the space. The two girls subconsciously clung to Li Mo's arms, one on each side. Li Mo felt their weight press gently against him. They continued deeper into the parking structure. Soon, Li Mo spotted an area illuminated by electric lights. It was an underground car wash facility, crowded with many weary-looking survivors. As Li Mo drew near, a shifty-eyed man's face lit up. He rubbed his hands together and hurried over. Catching sight of the two exceptionally attractive women beside Li Mo, he instantly guessed this man must be the leader of one residential building. "Sir, you must be the person in charge of one of the apartment towers, right?" Li Mo frowned at the man's unseemly expression and gave a slight nod. "Please, come inside. The other building leaders are already waiting." Li Mo stepped into the room. The survivors outside began murmuring among themselves. "Did you see those two women with him? They're stunning and well kept. Even from here you can tell they stand out. Keep your voice down. He brought two women and a dog with him. He's definitely a tower leader. Don't go looking for trouble. What a waste. The women we're holding captive can't compare to them even half as much. Quit daydreaming. In this freezing weather, trivial desires are the last thing anyone should worry about." The temperature rose noticeably once Li Mo stepped indoors. "Master, it's so warm in here. Could it be they also have heating equipment?" "It's possible. Didn't you notice the electric lights? They might have found a way to restore power." Bai Mengmeng looked around curiously, full of questions. They climbed the stairs to the second level, where it grew even warmer, and pushed open a door. A spacious room held a round table occupied by 3 men and 1 woman. 2 subordinates stood behind each person. Every pair of eyes turned toward the newcomers, each carrying a different expression. A burly man named Tiehu paused mid-smoke and set down his crossed leg. His gaze locked firmly onto Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng, openly admiring their beauty. They were far more appealing than the women under his control. If he could take them for himself, he might even achieve a breakthrough in his ability level. Li Mo casually pulled out an empty chair and sat down, sweeping his gaze over everyone present. Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng stood behind him, disgusted by Tiehu's blatant stare. Seated at the head of the table was a woman wearing a white button-up shirt layered under a thick jacket. She had short hair and gold-rimmed glasses, with skin far cleaner than most survivors in the apocalypse, and looks comparable to Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng. She lifted her head the moment Li Mo entered, her gaze studying him through her lenses for 2 seconds before offering a small nod. Across from Li Mo sat a middle-aged man with a square jaw, flanked by 2 rigidly upright followers. His posture suggested a military background. Next to him was a stout, round-faced middle-aged man with a permanent smile, repeatedly wiping his fingers with a handkerchief. Li Mo raised an eyebrow as he sensed the considerable power emanating from each person. Naturally, anyone capable of ruling an entire residential tower possessed real strength. Spotting Li Mo, the stout man's smile widened further. "Well now, you must be the leader from Tower 1. Truly young and capable. I'm Qian Lai from Tower 5. Feel free to call on me if you need anything. May I ask your name, brother?" Li Mo glanced at him. "Li Mo." At that moment, the woman in the white shirt spoke up. "Everyone, all parties have arrived. I'm Lu Lan, administrator of Tower 2. I didn't summon you all here merely to share tea. Each of us who leads a tower has our strengths, yet conditions keep worsening. Temperatures keep plummeting, and no one knows how long this snowstorm will last. Sending teams out to scavenge supplies grows increasingly difficult. Therefore, I propose we unite our manpower to form joint exploration parties to gather resources together." Li Mo's eyes shifted. So this was Lu Lan. He recalled Wang Buiyuan mentioning her previously. The square-jawed middle-aged man took over the conversation. "I'm Zhong Weigua from Tower 4. I agree. Countless survivors have died these past few days. The situation will only deteriorate if we act separately." Qian Lai kept smiling and said nothing. Tiehu let out a mocking snort. "Unity? Are you naive or just foolish? A mob like ours will never follow orders obediently." As he spoke, he directed his attention back toward Li Mo. "Brother, are you willing to sell those 2 women behind you? Name your price, or I can trade 3, no? 5 women for them. You won't regret it." Li Mo stared at the man's yellow, stained teeth and replied in a calm tone. "Their worth exceeds 10 of your lives combined. Can you afford it?" Tiehu's face darkened instantly, ready to fly into a rage, when Lu Lan shouted to intervene. "Tiehu, watch your tone. Behavior like this will turn everyone against you." He let out a cold huff, but his stare remained fixed on Li Mo. Lu Lan continued speaking. I understand your doubts. However, we must collect supplies as soon as possible. High-tier treasure chests are guarded by monsters, yet each tower has very few combat-capable ability users. We need to combine our fighters quickly. Once the weather grows even harsher, venturing outside will become nearly impossible. Qian Lai twisted the cup in his hands and smiled gently. Sister Lan, your idea holds merit, but I'm sure everyone has seen that giant toad outside. None of us stand a chance against such a beast. What if a large expedition team marches out and gets wiped out entirely? On top of that, monsters frequently sneak in to attack at night. Every tower's priority right now should be reinforcing their doors and walls. We simply lack spare resources to help others. Listening to them bicker, Li Mo saw through their intentions. One hoped to exploit shared labor, while another sought to hoard more resources for himself. The conversation circled endlessly with no valuable information exchanged. Li Mo let out a quiet sigh. Lu Lan noticed and frowned. Li Mo, if you have an alternative suggestion, feel free to speak your mind. I had hoped to hear useful intelligence. Instead, you waste time arguing over meaningless trivialities. This is dreadfully dull. Every face around the table darkened at his words. Li Mo stood up, preparing to leave. Tiehu slammed his palm against the table and rose to his feet, shouting sharply. Boy, who said you could leave? Li Mo's hand on the doorknob paused. He turned and looked at everyone in the room with a faint smile. Seeing Li Mo's expression, Liang Yun and Bai Mengmeng knew full well what his smile meant. These people were about to suffer. No one else in the room stepped forward to stop Tiehu. They all wanted to witness what kind of confidence this young man, who called their discussions tedious, possessed. A menacing aura rolled off Tiehu, and a long blade materialized in his grasp. His two subordinates instantly grabbed their own weapons, ready to attack. Li Mo, is it? I offered you respect, yet you throw it back in my face. After leading a tower for a short while, you think you're untouchable. I've seen plenty of hotheads like you locked up in prison. Sit back down right now, and send those two women over to keep me company. Otherwise, he never finished his sentence. Li Mo moved. The 2 extra points of speed granted by the rabbit statue turned him into a blurred streak, and he appeared directly before Tiehu in an instant. Tiehu only saw a flash. He had no time to react. The next second, boom, a tremendous force crashed into him. By the time he registered what happened, Tiehu's face slammed hard against the tabletop. No one else in the room clearly tracked the movement. All they saw was a blur, and then Tiehu lay sprawled across the table. Lu Lan's pupils constricted. She sat closest to him and felt a gust of wind sweep past. What terrifying speed was this? Zone.With was the most stunned. As a former soldier, his eyesight was sharp, and he had already advanced to level 4. Even so, he failed to follow Li Mo's motions. Bai Mengmeng watched Li Mo move, her eyes sparkling with admiration, warmth spreading through her chest. Ever since Li Mo reprimanded her that one time, a strange emotion had awakened within her, making her heart race wildly. Pressure bore down harder on Tiehu's skull, and he roared. What are you waiting for? Kill him. His 2 subordinates snapped out of their shock and charged from either side, weapons raised. Li Mo let out a cold scoff, not even turning his head. Crack! Crack! He lashed out with 2 kicks in quick succession. Both men's legs twisted at grotesque angles. They crumpled to the ground, clutching their limbs and rolling in agony. Aya! Screams echoed out. Li Mo sneered. They call you Tiehu, the Iron Tiger. To me, you're nothing more than a maggot. The remark stoked Tiehu's burning rage. He lifted his blade and slashed down with overwhelming power. You seek death. Tiehu had expected Li Mo to dodge, which would give him a chance to break free. But Li Mo did not evade. Instead, he raised his left arm and took the blow head-on. Crack! The crisp sound of shattering bone rang out across the room. The blade sank deep into his arm, lodged firmly between fractured bones. Blood gushed forth, splattering all over Tiehu's face. Qian Lai swallowed hard. Earlier, he had thought Li Mo was merely a reckless fighter. Watching him take that strike without flinching, he realized this was no hothead. This man was utterly ruthless. Tiehu stared at the sword embedded in Li Mo's arm, utterly dumbfounded. Is this man insane? Would he sacrifice his own arm just to hold me down? Li Mo showed no visible reaction. He barely registered any pain. Lu Lan could no longer stay seated and quickly called out to halt the fight. Enough! Stop this at once. Li Mo, release him. Li Mo ignored her entirely and leaned down to speak beside Tiehu's ear. Those yellow-stained teeth of yours disgust me. Let me fix that for you. He pried Tiehu's jaw open and pressed his teeth against the table surface. Tiehu's eyes shook, and he mumbled brokenly, Stop, you. Liamo lifted his leg and drove his boot into Tiehu's head. Boom. Tiehu's teeth flew everywhere. One tooth even bounced on Zone.With cheek. Muffled, slurred groans escaped Tiehu, unintelligible to everyone present. Only then did Liamo let go. Tiehu collapsed onto the floor, clutching his mouth and wailing continuously. That's more satisfying. With a sharp tug, he pulled the blade free from his wounded arm. Only cries of pain filled the room. Everyone stared at Liamo in shock, and some of the bodyguards trembled uncontrollably on their feet. Lu Lan fought to calm her turbulent emotions as she stood. Liamo, has your anger subsided? Fairly well. The mighty Iron Tiger has become a toothless, feeble cat. Lu Lan's mouth twitched. When she saw Liamo raise the blade again, her heart skipped a beat, and she hurried forward to seize his wrist. You cannot kill him. If Tiehu dies, the survivors in his tower may collapse into chaos. The doppelgangers could then unite and launch mass attacks against the other buildings. Liamo looked at Lu Lan standing close before him and noted her striking figure. Still, he had no intention of leaving a dangerous rival alive. Yet her reasoning held merit. Liamo pulled his arm free from her grip and smiled. Very well. I will spare his life. Lu Lan breathed a quiet sigh of relief until she watched Liamo lift his foot and stomp down hard on Tiehu's lower body. Squelch. A sickening crunch resounded. Tiehu did not make a sound. He instantly blacked out from agony. Every man in the room instinctively squeezed their legs together. It was clear the damage was catastrophic. Even a healing ability user would struggle to reverse such an injury. Liamo lifted his foot and wiped the sole clean on Tiehu's clothing, nodding in satisfaction. He had long heard rumors that Tiehu advanced his power by exploiting women. If killing him carried too many risks, he would instead cripple his ability forever, eliminating any future threat. Stowing the blade away, Liamo turned to leave. The two young women rushed toward him with anxious expressions. Master, your arm. Brotherly. Bai Meng held out her palms, soft light glowing as she activated her healing power. Lu Lan, still stunned by Li Mo's brutality, turned and witnessed Bai Mengming's power. A glint flashed in her eyes. Healing abilities were strategically invaluable in the apocalypse. Her gaze lingered on Bai Mengming's delicate features, and thoughts began to form in her mind. Whether by inclination or nature, Lu Lan was drawn to women. Discovering someone with a top-tier healing ability only strengthened her interest in Bai Mengming. Liamo waved off their worry, watching his arm mend completely, and gently ruffled Bai Mengming's hair. Thank you, Mingming. Bai Mengming's complexion paled. Healing such a severe wound drained a great deal of her strength. She wiped sweat from her forehead and offered a weak smile. With that, Liamo took both girls by the hand and headed for the door. Lu Lan quickly called out after them. Liamo, do not misunderstand. Tiehu has harmed countless women. Everyone has grievances against him. I only chose to spare him because of the threat from the doppelgangers. Liamo glanced back at her, confused by the sudden explanation. Why was she telling him this? I see. He said no more and departed with the two girls. Liangyan caught the way Lu Lan stared at Bai Mengming. Sensing malicious intent, she subtly shifted her body to block Lu Lan's line of sight. Once the three vanished through the doorway, Lu Lan glanced down at the unconscious Tiehu on the floor. Her expression turned icy, and she instructed her subordinates. Drag him out and return him to his people. Qian Li-eyed Lu Lan and spoke cautiously. Sister Lan, about Liamo, make every effort to avoid becoming his enemy. His presence will ease pressure on all of us. Meanwhile, outside the meeting room, Bruce had been wandering around marking his territory on the other survivors. The men seethed with irritation but dared not act against the dog. They collectively exhaled in relief when Liamo finally emerged. Take care, sir. Travel safely. Liamo found their strange, eager expressions odd, as if they desperately wanted him to leave quickly. Only once Liamo and his group walked far away did the survivors fully relax. Bruce kept glancing backward as they left, reluctant to depart. Silly dog, there aren't any other dogs here. What are you longing for? Liamo kicked his hind leg lightly. Liangyan laughed. Perhaps Bruce thinks all those people are his followers. The three humans and the dog stepped back into the lobby on the ground floor, and waves of shouting and arguing washed over them once more. Liamo frowned. They still haven't settled their dispute. As they entered the lobby, cries and furious disputes surrounded them. Let us inside. I've changed my mind. I can't abandon my father. Mother, I was unfilial and troubled you in the past. I won't let you suffer locked away. Lu Zhan and Wang Nen stood guard in front of a doorway, faces flushed with strain. Everyone step back. We've told you those are monsters inside. Don't force us to take harsh action. But the crowd pressed forward in a dense throng, emotions running dangerously high. Only the survivors who had witnessed the truth that night stood apart, watching the chaos and confusion. Watching the scene unfold, Liang Yin looked confused. How did things spiral this far out of control? When we left, there was only mild bickering. In such a short time, everyone seems to have lost their senses. Lu Zhan spotted Zhang Bo sitting in the distance and shouted, "Zhang Bo, what are you daydreaming about? Come help us." Zhang Bo sat slumped on the floor, repeatedly rubbing his face. He looked utterly defeated, his gaze empty and hollow. He did not react when Lu Zhan called his name. Li Mo frowned at the unsettling scene. Even with their affection for their loved ones, the crowd's frenzy exceeded what he expected. His gaze swept to the opposite side. Chen Yao, Yi Qingyin, and a small group remained standing far away, comparatively calm. He recalled that none of these people had found anyone they recognized among the doppelgangers. Desperate pleas echoed from behind the closed door, stirring the crowd's emotions even further. Liamo narrowed his eyes. Could these creatures amplify the emotions of humans around them? Scanning the rioting crowd, Liamo walked up onto a raised platform and shouted sharply, "Everyone quiet down." The chaotic mob instantly fell silent, every head turning toward Liamo. Lu Zhan brightened when he saw Liamo return and called out, "Liamo, thank goodness you're back." These people seemed to be under some strange influence. They were calm a short while ago, then suddenly rushed over all at once. The anxiety Chen Yao had felt faded the moment she laid eyes on Liamo. She instinctively trusted that he could resolve the crisis. Yi Qingyin watched Ning Yin anxiously within the crowd. The young woman beside her had reddened eyes. Liamo studied the pained faces below him. He understood that most of the crowd was being influenced by the voices from the locked room. Yet he remained calm. He knew these survivors were not inherently compassionate. Selfishness lurked within all of them. He already knew how to handle them. It was not his preference to kill someone to strike fear into the mob. Liamo was not a cruel man who enjoyed slaughter, but some people invited disaster upon themselves. Moreover, true leadership could never rely solely on brute intimidation. Force could only make people fear you. But if you won control over their hearts, they would serve you willingly, even beg for your favor. Liamo also understood how unpredictable human nature could be, and that was when force became necessary again. A firm hand paired with small rewards. His thoughts raced, and he spoke loudly to the crowd. "Everyone, remain calm. No harm will come to them. They are only being detained temporarily to stop them from hurting others. No, we demand their release." "Exactly. I cannot let them endure captivity." Shouts erupted once more. "So what if they're monsters? No matter what they've become, our love for them is genuine." Lu Zhan and Wang Nen exchanged confused glances, unsure what strategy Li Mo intended to use. The two young women beside him also watched curiously, wondering what plan he had devised. He waited until their outcries died down before slowly offering a bargain. "Very well. If you cooperate and assist in guarding these doppelgangers, you can honor your bonds with them. As compensation, every person will receive 3 ham sausages." As those words fell, the hall fell silent once more. Everyone stared wide-eyed at Liamo. Even the imposters screaming inside the room grew quiet. Many in the crowd subconsciously swallowed hard. Had they heard correctly? 3 ham sausages per person. Day in and day out, they survived on dry bread. Many could not even spare water, forced to drink melted, filthy snow water. A single meat sausage held incredible temptation for them. Chen Yao looked utterly shocked. Right now, 1 sausage cost roughly 1 silver coin. If everyone got 3, she dared not imagine just how wealthy Liamo was. Liang Yun stared at Liamo's back, eyes blown wide. She seemed to figure out what he planned to do. The crowd's gazes shifted. The grief they'd felt for their trapped loved ones faded, replaced by raw greed. Liamo took in every change of expression, nodding in satisfaction. This was exactly the reaction he wanted. Even before the apocalypse, people had betrayed family for profit. In this dog-eat-dog world, anything was possible. Just then, a stammering voice rose from the crowd. "In no way." Liamo turned toward the speaker, surprised someone would resist the allure of gain. All heads swiveled to look at him. Flustered under everyone's gaze, he forced himself to continue speaking. "They're my brothers and family. You can't buy them off with 3 sausages. You need to pay more." Liamo froze briefly, then let out a mocking chuckle. "Very well. Starting now, it's 2 sausages each." Chaos erupted among the crowd. "Why cut it down to 2? I don't want to bargain anymore. It's all your fault. We lost 1 sausage because of you. 2 isn't enough. We refuse." No trace of affection for their relatives remained. They were nothing more than ravenous wolves. Liamo's voice rang out again, like a demon's whisper. Now it's one sausage per person. This is my final offer, and supplies are limited. Anyone who wants one should register with LV Jean. Those who hesitate might get nothing. Terrified of losing the last chance for food, no one dared haggle further. They rushed toward LV Jean at once. This time, none begged for their family members to be released. Stop pushing. Get out of my way. I'm signing up. I'll register too. Dad, stay in there. At least you'll get me something to eat. Quit calling for mom. You're a fake. I want to sign up. Liam watched the frantic scene with a sneer. Blood ties, friendship, love, all could break when profit was on the line. He glanced at the darkening sky outside, exhaled a cloud of white breath, and gestured for the two women to follow him away. Liang Yun trailed behind, a chill running through her. Yet her gaze toward Liam held growing trust. Bai Mingming looked at him with pure admiration. To her, Brotherly had resolved the chaos with just a few words. He was unbelievably capable. Staring at Li Mo's departing figure, LV Jean shuddered. He's terrifying. Manipulating people's hearts like this. Inside the room, Liam recalled his avatar and stretched out, lying down on the bed. His real body had never left this spot, yet maintaining full focus to control the avatar drained his energy. Liang Yun took off her thick coat and walked over to the bed, curiosity etched on her face. Master, do you really plan to hand out the sausages? Bai Mingming shifted to ease her posture and looked toward Liam, equally curious. Liam smiled at Liang Yun. Do I seem like that kind of person? He could easily retrieve crates of sausages from the golden treasure chest, but Liam always strove to maximize every advantage. But I will give them out eventually, just slowly, step by step, according to my plan. Liang Yun covered her mouth and laughed, kicking off her heels before sitting down beside him. Master, you're so cunning, but I like it. Liam gestured gently. Let us rest for a while. We can't let our guard down. Who knows what will happen tonight? Liang Yun felt the warmth of his palm and nodded softly. Understood, Master. Darkness gradually settled over the building. Liam opened the regional chat channel, his most reliable source of intelligence. Hui. Guys, look what I found. Image. Dong asterisk. Wait, you're cooking snake meat? I can't even find a frozen bug around here. Also, can creatures from this place be eaten? Wong. Earlier, I dug up rotten snails from the soil and ate them. Kai. I tried monster flesh. It gave me terrible diarrhea. It's edible, but there are side effects. Hey, you actually ate rotten snails? Are you suicidal? Wong. Desperation leaves little room for caution. Who? Everyone stay alert. I sense something besides monsters lurking here, hard to explain, an ominous presence. It's an Eerie. Only whose message caught Li Mo's attention. An Eerie. He frowned. From novels he'd read, Eries were far deadlier than ordinary monsters. They wielded inexplicable supernatural powers, impossible to guard against. Damn, this world grows more dangerous by the day. He scanned them all, filled mostly with useless junk. He switched to the trading board, where most listings were basic food supplies. Scrolling onward, he spotted a generator blueprint, but chose not to buy it. His current power was sufficient. Worse still, generators created loud noise that could draw unwanted threats. Further down, he found a blueprint for a simple electric lamp. Without hesitation, he purchased it. Holding the blueprint he'd bought for 2 silver coins, he brightened. Simple electric lamp. Materials required for crafting: glass times 3, iron ingot times 3, silver coin times 4. Finally, no more relying on moonlight. Liam crafted the lamp and mounted it to the ceiling. 5 o'clock 5 minutes later, the lamp materialized overhead. Simple electric lamp. Rank, none. Durability, 6/6. Can be dismantled into glass times 2, iron ingot times 2. Description: a crudely made lamp. Be cautious. Unstable voltage could electrocute you. Consumes 0.4 energy per hour. Li Mo's eyes twitched as he read the description. This shouldn't be called a lamp. It's basically a makeshift grenade. Still, its low energy consumption was its sole redeeming quality. He connected virtual wiring from the window to the lamp. In an instant, the dim room flooded with light. Liang Yun glanced around joyfully. Light at last. We won't have to eat dinner in darkness. Liam nodded. Brightness chased away much of the apocalypse's oppressive gloom. Even so, he remained vigilant. He tore thick, light, blocking fabric into strips and hung them over the windows as curtains. His sense of safety rose significantly. He had no intention of exposing his location. Every other room in the building was dark. Light would attract monsters. He turned to see Bai Mingming already seated neatly at the table, chopsticks ready in her hands. The sight made Liam chuckle. All right, tell me what you two want for dinner. Steak, fried rice. The two answers came at the same time. Very well. Steak fried rice tonight. By Ming Ming lit up. Yes. Liemo walked to the golden treasure chest, testing whether he could exploit its glitch once more. He reached out and pulled out a large cooking pot. At the dinner table, Liang Yun ate gracefully, occasionally feeding tender slices of meat to Liemo. Bai Mengming's manner was far less refined. She held a bowl nearly as big as her face, shoveling food into her mouth nonstop. Whether she'd grown comfortable around them or the light let her eat without self-consciousness, she showed no trace of shyness now. Watching her ravenous eating, Liemo understood why she was so robust. Down in the hall, flickering firelight offered the only illumination. The room holding the impostors had long since fallen silent. LV Jean and the survivors gathered around, tinkering with a generator. Without household appliances, LV Jean wired the generator straight into the building's power grid to test if it functioned. Wang Nin pulled his coat tighter, wiping a running nose with a trembling hand. Captain LV, you traded for this generator cheaply. What if it's broken? Everyone pooled resources for this. We're counting on it. LV Jean's brow stayed furrowed as he continued adjusting the machine. He'd repaired plenty of equipment before. He was confident he could fix it if it malfunctioned. This time, however, nothing happened. He looked up at the crowd. Does anyone have a talent related to machinery or electricity? Come help. Everyone shook their heads. Their talents were mostly trivial and useless. None knew how to repair machinery. If only someone had a power-generating talent. Then LV Jean twisted a component. Boom. The generator roared to life, and lights flickered on across the entire building. Outside, amid the wind and snow, something stirred, drawn by the sudden glow. LV Jean beamed at the glowing overhead bulbs. He noticed light fixtures throughout the common areas. With a generator, he could rework wiring and set up heaters without needing blueprints. A surge of pride washed over him. Who needed designs when he could improvise? It's working. The lights are on. Great. We can finally live a little easier. Their cheers died fast. The generator's rotation slowed, lights flickering dimmer and dimmer before cutting out completely. LV Jean rushed forward to inspect it. The gasoline tank was empty. Damn it, I forgot about fuel. A generator without gasoline was useless. The crowd's joy vanished instantly. Someone spoke up. LV Jean, you can talk to Liemo. Go bargain with him for gasoline. He must have supplies. Exactly. You got the generator running. You can't stop halfway. And ask him when he'll hand out the sausages. LV Jean seethed inwardly. Everyone wanted the benefits, yet they pushed all the risky errands onto him. Still, he maintained his usual benevolent persona. This reputation earned him passive support from the survivors. Thanks to his talent unity, his HP had climbed to an astonishing 500 points. Ordinary monsters could never kill him. Though he kept up appearances, he refused to shoulder this alone. He turned toward Zhang Bo. Zhang Bo, come with me to see Liemo. Zhang Bo stared blankly toward the doorway. LV Jean grew annoyed. Hey, I'm talking to you. Wang Nan's shaky voice cut through him, nudging his arm. See, Captain LV. LV Jean turned and saw every person staring rigidly at the entrance. A cold dread gripped him. He slowly twisted to face the doorway, and his blood ran cold. His pupils shrank to pinpricks. A massive face had surfaced on the once smooth wall, embedded within it. Its mouth stretched into an unnatural, eerie grin. Pale, cloudy eyes stared unblinkingly at everyone present. Heavy, ragged breathing filled the vast hall. The face's grin widened, stretching all the way to its ears, revealing rows of sharp fangs. A stench of rot and blood drifted outward from the wall. A woman in the back finally snapped, screaming and collapsing to the floor, unable to form coherent words as she pointed at the wall. Panic exploded through the crowd. Everyone scrambled backward, shoving and trampling one another. Someone tripped beside the fire, sending sparks flying everywhere. Wang Nan's legs turned to jelly. He clung to LV Jean's arm, lips trembling. Captain, what is that thing? How should I know? Run. Head upstairs. LV Jean grabbed his collar and dragged him toward the stairwell. The face watched the fleeing humans, licking its lips greedily, as if gazing at a feast. It crept downward along the wall. A man who lagged stumbled and fell. He glanced down and saw the face creeping to his feet, cloudy white eyes locked onto him. Stricken, he scrambled to crawl away. Help! Somebody help me! He thought he'd escaped after scrambling several meters. The face opened its jaws wide, a pitch black maw. The man lost his footing and fell straight inside. LV Jean glanced back and witnessed the horror, nearly scared out of his wits. He raced upward even faster, scrambling toward the stairs. Squelching chewing sounds echoed, like biting into blood-soaked soft tofu. After devouring its victim, the face glided along the wall once more. Several more stragglers vanished silently into the wall amid faint crunching noises. Inside Limo's room, he wiped his mouth, about to comment that the steak was perfectly cooked. Suddenly, chaotic footsteps echoed outside. Limo paused, sensing trouble. Liang Yin tensed. What's happening? So many people rushing back, they sound terrified. Limo said nothing. He stood and peered through the observation slit. He noticed Qin Yao's door had somehow upgraded to Tier 3. Glancing further right, he saw numerous survivors sprinting back into their rooms, faces etched with terror. LV Zhan also hurried toward his own quarters in a state of panic. Once the last person slammed their door shut, the corridor fell silent. The atmosphere felt deeply unsettling. Liamo stared at the empty hallway, his heart sinking. Only two possibilities existed. Either monsters lingered by the first-floor entrance and scared everyone off without entering, or the creature had followed the crowd upstairs, hiding somewhere in this corridor. Let's hope it's not the second option, he muttered. He watched the corridor for a long time with no sign of movement. Just as he prepared to pull away, a section of wall at the far end bulged outward. Thud! His heart skipped a beat. The next sight made his scalp prickle. A blood-splattered human face wriggled slowly out from the wall. Shit! Liamo cursed quietly. He'd expected a regular monster, not this horrifying supernatural entity. Blood flecks covered its skin, and scraps of flesh hung from its twisted mouth. It slid along the wall and halted before a Tier 2 wooden door. Then it began forcing itself into the wood, its features contorting as it squeezed. The door creaked under immense strain. Once it fully slipped inside, the wood faded to a sickly gray. Screams and wet chewing noises drifted out. Liamo gripped his weapon tightly. It can phase straight through doors. He looked toward his Tier 5 steel door. Ordinary monsters could never breach it, but no one knew if an Eerie possessed the power to break through. This must be the Eerie everyone mentioned in the chat. Liang Yun paled upon hearing the word. Master, what do we do? Will it come for us? Bai Mingming tiptoed to the observation slit. One glance was enough to send her stumbling back, alarmed as she looked at Liamo. Liamo took a deep breath to calm them. Don't panic. We have a Tier 5 steel door. It struggled to break through a Tier 2 wooden door. The dense steel should stop it. As Liamo comforted the two women, a bump suddenly bulged on the wall beside their door, something pushing outward beneath the plaster. The sudden movement startled everyone. The bulge slowly crept toward the steel door, attempting to squeeze through. A grating, uncomfortable creak echoed, and the steel door began to vibrate. It pushed for a long while, yet the metal did not deform in the slightest. The bulge stilled, seemingly ready to give up. Liamo started to relax. Abruptly, the creature surged forward in a furious charge. Crack! Through the seam of the steel door, a single eye burst into view, staring greedily inward. Ah! Bai Mingming clamped a hand over her mouth to muffle her scream. Liang Yun shuddered, tightening her grip on Limo's hand. Master, it got partway through. What do we do? Liamo had not anticipated it could penetrate the gap. The eye rotated, irritated by the room's bright light, and strained to push further. The seam widened. Then the steel door activated its defense. Steel spikes jutted outward. Roar! A pained shriek resounded. The Eerie face tried to pull back, but the eye was pierced and trapped between the cracks, unable to advance or retreat. The spikes stabbed repeatedly, wet piercing sounds ringing out. Squelch! Squelch! The once ferocious eye was now helpless. It would soon be skewered. Liang Yun stared in shock. It's stuck? Liamo stared at the absurd sight, his expression odd. That's all it could do? The overwhelming tension faded amid the ridiculous scene. Bai Mingming calmed slightly, gazing at the trapped eye. Can it survive this? Will it escape? Right after she spoke, the eye was violently wrenched free and pulled away. Liamo narrowed his eyes, checking the steel door durability. It had lost a full 10 points. This creature is far stronger than it looks. An idea occurred to him. If he killed this Eerie, what valuable loot might it drop? He summoned his avatar. The avatar peered through the observation slit. Sure enough, the face was wriggling frantically away along the wall, fleeing without any intention of attacking again. To the shock of the two women, the steel door opened and shut silently. Limo's avatar slipped out and gave chase. He watched the fleeing face and grinned, his expression nearly as ferocious as the monster's. You think you can run after getting wounded? The hunter and hunted have switched places. Survivors in the corridor peeked through door viewers. They saw the Eerie easily break through Tier 2 doors and were terrified. Yet when it headed toward Limo's room, many secretly hoped it would succeed. Inside one apartment, a man pressed his eye to the viewer, watching Limo's door with malice. Go for him. Tear him to shreds. Let no one survive. Their hopes were crushed. The face failed to breach the steel door and fled instead. What stunned them even more was Lee Imo stepping outside. Lee Imo charged after the fleeing face, wielding a large cleaver. The onlookers could not process what they saw. Even injured, this entity was not something humans could fight. Was he always this reckless? Back in the room, Meng Meng hovered by the observation slit, anxious. She grabbed Liang Yun's arm. Sister Liang, why did Brother Li go out? We need to think of something. Liang Yun sighed at her panic. The girl clearly lacked composure. She flicked Meng Meng's forehead gently. That's only his avatar. There's no need to panic. Meng Meng rubbed her forehead, glancing at the real Li Mo sitting quietly on the bed. She realized her mistake. She laughed awkwardly. I was too worried and didn't notice. On the corridor wall, the face licked its wounded eye, filled with resentment. It had never encountered a Tier 5 door, much less one equipped with defensive steel spikes. This was the worst injury it had ever sustained. All it wanted was to find a shadowy corner to heal. Once recovered, it would hunt down every person in this building one by one. Suddenly, running footsteps echoed behind it. Human footsteps? Its remaining eye swiveled. It saw a figure sprinting forward, cleaver raised high, looking almost more savage than the Eerie itself. The face's eye trembled, overcome with genuine fear. Only ever the hunter, it had never been chased by a human. It turned and fled immediately, wriggling along the wall. Liemo watched it glance back, suspecting a trick. He slowed briefly. When it continued running, he quickened his pace. Human and monster raced through the stairwell. Liemo spotted bloody debris scattered along the way. He frowned. This thing is surprisingly fast. His avatar possessed only half his real stats, though boosted by the rabbit statue to 5 points. Even so, he struggled to close the gap. Survivors hiding within rooms heard the commotion in the stairwell, convinced another monster had appeared. They huddled silently, heads lowered. The chase led all the way to the first floor hall. Liemo watched the face head straight for the building entrance, desperate to escape outside. Liemo raised his cleaver and shouted, "Stop running and fight." The face quickened its pace, sliding out through the doorway. Liemo reached the entrance. Frigid wind and snow swept into his face as he stared into the black night. He gritted his teeth. It's badly hurt. I can't let it get away. He pushed the door open and pursued it. The avatar felt dulled pain, yet the nighttime snow still cut like ice. The fleeing face grew furious as the human kept chasing. Am I not the Eerie here? It had always hunted humans, never the other way around. Humiliation burned within it. The face abruptly stopped and charged Liemo, jaws stretched wide, venom dripping from its fangs. Liemo stood his ground, lifting his cleaver to meet the attack. Perfect. When they closed the distance, he brought the blade down hard. The cleaver lodged in its nasal region. Liemo was shocked. Its hide is this tough? The face retaliated, lunging to bite Liemo's head. As the jaws neared, Liemo activated his copper skull skill for the first time. A crushing pressure clamped onto his skull, bringing mild pain. His health dropped noticeably. Clang. Metal clashed. The monster's teeth nearly cracked. Its single eye widened in disbelief. How could this human's skull be so hard? Nothing like the fragile humans it had devoured before. Haha, how do you like my hard skull? Rage flared in the creature's eyes once more, and it charged again. Wind and snow howled through the darkness. Human and Eerie clashed violently. Snow swirled everywhere around their battlefield. Liemo struck repeatedly with the cleaver. Though wounds were slow to form, the creature's health steadily declined. The Eerie grew increasingly feral, its white eye turning blood red. It lunged and sank its jaws into Liemo's thigh. Crunch. The sound of shattering bone and torn flesh carried clearly. Snow around them stained crimson. Liemo groaned and stumbled backward, staring at his severed leg. Anger ignited within him. After chewing the leg and spitting out the shoe, the face charged again. This time, it tore off Liemo's left arm. Liemo jammed his cleaver between its teeth to hold it open. Staring at the discarded shoe, a thought dawned on him. Earlier in the stairwell, he had seen other discarded remains. An idea clicked. He pulled iron ingots from his backpack and tossed them straight into its open maw. You love eating? Eat your fill. The creature initially sneered as foreign objects poured inside. As more ingots piled within its body, its expression twisted in agony. It never imagined this human carried so many supplies. Roar. It thrashed wildly, but Liemo refused to let it pull free. Seeing the strategy worked, he tossed in even more materials. He might lack rare treasures, but basic resources were endless. More and more iron ingots filled the Eerie's body, contorting its features further. Then a critical threshold was crossed. Boom. Experience plus 80. Liemo collapsed onto the snow. The Eerie had exploded. It likely never imagined that a terrifying Eerie would die from being overstuffed. Liamo watched loot drift down from the blast, a grin spreading across his face before he laughed aloud. Ha. Eerie's aren't all that terrifying. Easily dealt with. He tried to stand, staggered, and fell back onto the snow, examining his mangled avatar. His expression shifted. Adrenaline had masked his injuries, but he had lost far too many limbs. Damn, maybe not all that easy. Ugh, that hurts. This avatar's body won't last much longer. It should hold up long enough to get back to the building. He glanced toward the deeper darkness beyond the snowfield, tempted to explore further. Forget it. I'll push this avatar to its absolute limit first. Clink. An item dropped at his feet. Leaning on his broken cleaver, he picked it up. System notifications popped up, and Liamo's eyes lit up.